Well, it is a holly jolly night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We celebrate the Christmas in July promotion here this evening. The Lancaster Barnstormers taking on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The last time these teams got together was 2 weeks ago, and that was to start the second half, and the series belonged entirely to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, including a game that was a makeup game from the first half. Southern Maryland took all four. The Barnstormers looking for a measure of revenge here this weekend. Lancaster is still in last in the second half in the Freedom Division, but the Barnstormers have caught fire for the first time all year. They've won 4 in a row, and this is a ball club that's extremely upbeat right now, believing that it can conquer the world, and they have to hold on to that feeling and have to experience world conquering for a little while longer. But if they do, they can get right back into the race in the second half. Tonight, Kyle Davies will be making the start for the Barnstormers. Davies has lost his last 6 starts, and while he has not pitched maybe as well as he had earlier in the year, he doesn't deserve to be 0-6 in that span. The Barnstormers have scored only 12 runs in those 6 starts for Kyle, and overall he is 4-8 with a 3.79 earned run average. He'll match up tonight against left-hander Tommy Thorpe. The Barnstormers beat Thorpe the one time they faced him in a starting role this year. He is 2-3 with a 4.95 earned run average and has a tendency to give up a fairly large number of walks. Well, the Barnstormers on their longest winning streak of the season, 4 in a row. How long can they keep it going? Well, the objective tonight is simply to make it 5 and let tomorrow take care of tomorrow. One of the additions that the Barnstormers have made here in the middle of the season is going back to a man who has played a big role in the history of the Barnstormers over the last few years. That, of course, is left-hander Nate Reed. He's not at all in midseason form, but Reed is certainly going to make a contribution down the road. He is looking good. He's healthy. His location just off. Nate, my guest on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. We'll be back with the left-hander in just a moment here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team, and through training, preparing, working together like a team in an emergency, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. It's time you stepped up to bat to hit a home run for your local Lancaster County Fire Company. Go to becomeafirefighter.org, sign up, and take a swing for the fences. Join the Lancaster County Fire Service team.
Wow, season 15. Can you believe it? Gockenauer Appliance is proud to be back partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers again this season, and has been since day one. We are also proud to be celebrating our 70th year of business this season, and wanted to thank all of you for your support in business over all these years. I'll be back after the Dugout Report to tell you about some great offers and giveaways we have for you during this 15th season of Barnstormers Baseball.
Welcome back to this edition of the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Joining me is the reigning Atlantic League Pitcher of the Year, Nate Reed. And Nate, just bringing that up, how much did that award mean to you last year?
It was huge. You know, this is, as of right now, this is my big league, so I'm trying to make it the most of what I can. And getting that award with so many other big leaguers and me not being there makes it even better.
Yeah, it was a tremendous season for you last year, and you saved your best for last. You had an Oral Hershiser run going at the end of the season, kept it going against Sugarland. You were the one guy who had that club's number last year, and you came so close to getting us there, but you kind of ran out of gas in that 5th game.
Yeah, it was a tough series. You know, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of emotions, but, you know, my goal both games that I started was to just keep us in the game, give us a shot to win, and luckily I did that, and unfortunately we didn't come out with a W at the end, but, you know, hopefully we can get it back this year.
Yeah, I've always said if you had gotten one more out in the 7th inning, we win that game. And you could say what you will, there were a couple of things that happened in that inning that were a little bit controversial, but you got us to where we needed to be.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I'm just trying to keep us in the game every day I go out there. So, you know, getting the ball in Game 5, that's it's like a Game 7 of the World Series for us right there. So it was an honor, and I'm glad that I threw well for the team.
Tell us why you decided to wait until the middle of the season this year to come back.
I was, after the season, I threw a lot of innings here, so then I went down to winter ball and played pretty much the whole year during winter ball. I didn't get back till almost January, so I needed some rest. And then I'm getting married this fall, so I had to do some wedding planning during the early parts of spring, so I figured I'd extend it a little longer than I expected.
And it's not like you're among the ranks of the unemployed. You have a job outside of the baseball job. You're double dipping, man.
Yeah, usually I go in the mornings like 6:30 to 2:30 or something, and then I'll come out here and get my work in, and this is the fun part of my day.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy moonlighting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not the ideal situation, but I have fun doing it, and I'm able to keep playing, so it's great.
Now, tell us a little bit about what you do on this other job. People have asked me. It's called hardscaping. Define exactly what that is.
Hardscaping is pretty much like putting in the paver patios or like the block patios. That's what our expertise is. I mean, we do some mowing, we do redesign, we do like mulching. I mean, we don't have a restriction. It's just our expertise is like building patios like with blocks.
How hard is that compared to playing baseball?
Physically, a lot. Although being a starter is probably one of the most physically demanding things you could do. But yeah, it's definitely physically demanding. Mentally, not even close though for baseball.
So you've been back here a couple of starts. Your arm looks good. Tell us where you think you are right now.
I'd say maybe 2 or 3 more starts away from being close to where I was last year. I really didn't have too many bullpens coming in this season. It's tough to come trying to get ready in games where all these guys have been hitting for the past 3 months, so they're in mid-season form, and I'm just starting in spring. So, my velocity's up so far with the last couple starts, which I've never been throwing since my first year here. I haven't thrown this hard to start this year, so hopefully if my velo keeps up and then I get my command back, everything should be good.
Yeah, it was a little tough. People came up to the booth asking me after the first start, what's wrong with Nate Reed? And basically I said something like 3 or 4 inches because that's really what it was. There was nothing wrong with the stuff you were throwing.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny, I said before the game, if I came out of that game healthy and no walks, I would have been happy with it. And unfortunately, it ended up being the fair amount of runs, but I didn't walk anybody. I threw strikes, and I was healthy afterwards.
Yeah, it's amazing what a fine line there is, both pitching and hitting, but baseball really goes down to incrementally you're throwing from 60 feet, 6 inches away at 90 miles an hour, and 1 or 2 inches makes all the difference.
Oh, absolutely, and that's like you said, I just had too much plate. A couple of those pitches hit the corner a little bit, and it might be only 2 or 3 runs, and I was not worried about the 2 home runs. It was the 2 broken bat singles that scored the 2 runs that kind of hurt me, which they were good pitches, so that's just baseball.
Coming up, we think back to last year, a 7-day trip to Texas didn't exactly go too well for this ball club, but it's a new season, and all of a sudden you're with a ball club that's starting to find itself a little bit.
Yeah, I like the way we're playing right now, I've only been here 4 games to see, but I'm impressed with what's going on. I know it hasn't been going so well, but that's how baseball is. And, this is, I think, parts of 5 years here, and we've never really had too much success down there, but hopefully we get rolling in these last couple series, and we'll go down there and win the series at least.
Your plans for the rest of the season, starting the rest of the way, and then the off-season marriage and back to work?
Yeah, I said hopefully finish up here, hopefully get a championship. I get married it could be championship weekend, the weekend I get married, so I might be starting a game before I get married. But yeah, then keep working and then hopefully go play a month of winter ball at some time and then take some time off again.
Yeah, it's amazing having these dual careers going. How did you get into the hardscaping business in the first place? Did it find you? Did you find it?
I did it when I was younger in college. One of my buddies owned a landscaping business, and we kind of mowed lawns with him. And then me and my other best friend went off and started the patio business. And we just he was okay with me going to play baseball and pursuing my dreams. So I ended up honoring him by continuing to go back to him and making some money on the side.
Well, Nate, thanks for taking time out tonight. It's great seeing you back in a Barnstormers uniform. It sort of feels like there's a little bit more completion with you being here, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. It's glad to be back. This is my home away from home. It's my little vacation spot. Thank you.
Nate Reed joining me tonight on the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report. Starting lineups coming your way next on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Hi, Adam Tom Gockenauer back with you again to tell you about some of the great offers we have for you all season long. Stop in every day to register for a team-signed Barnstormers jersey. No purchase necessary. One lucky winner will win this very special jersey at the end of the season. Did you know we also have the best deals on the full line of Weber gas grills? Hey, mention this ad and receive free delivery on every Weber grill you purchase during the season. The best brands at the best prices. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Welcome back from Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Lancaster Barnstormers, winners of 4 in a row, taking on the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Off to a fine start in the second half. The Blue Crabs 8-4 and 1/2 game behind the York Revolution at the outset of play tonight. For the Blue Crabs, Kent Blackstone will lead off. He will be their second baseman. Edwin Garcia is the shortstop, batting number 2. The left fielder hitting third is Joe Benson. Dean Green, who has made all the difference in this Blue Crabs ball club, is the designated hitter. He is batting 4th. The center fielder batting 5th, the man who hit a come-from-behind walk-off home run against the High Point Rockers a couple of nights back, is Corey Vaughn. Charlie Valerio, the catcher, is batting 6th. Third baseman hitting 7th is the thorn in the side of the Barnstormers, Tony Thomas. Josh McAdams will bat 8th and play first base. The right fielder hitting 9th is Ruby Silva. And Tommy Thorpe is on the hill tonight for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The left-hander comes in with a record of 2 wins and 3 losses and an ERA of 4.95. For the Barnstormers this evening, Michael Martinez will lead off and play shortstop. The designated hitter batting number 2 is Caleb Gindel. Joe Turdoskovich, the third baseman, batting 3rd. The cleanup hitter is the left fielder Andrew Applin. Destin Hood will bat 5th. And he will play right field. He was a lead insertion for Greg Golson, who went 4 for 4 last night. The first baseman batting 6th is Casey Hobson. Parker Morin will catch and bat 7th. The second baseman hitting 8th is Melvin Mercedes. Darian Sanford back in center field and batting 9th for the Barnstormers here this evening. Kyle Davies will make the start. Davies in his 15th for the Barnstormers. He is 4-8. with a 3.79 ERA. Again, just like Buddy Bauman last night, Davies has not received a lot of support. Bauman got his share in last night's 10-0 victory over the Somerset Patriots. Can the Barnstormers follow that up and back Davies with some runs here tonight and make it 5 wins in a row for the Lancaster Barnstormers Ball Club? We'll find out momentarily on this beautiful night for baseball at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Join us if you have a chance. We'll be back with play-by-play baseball coming up next right here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark. The Barnstormers hit the field at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and the good guys are decked out all in white here on Christmas in July. White hats, white jerseys with the red trim and the red numerals. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs are in road and bluish gray with blue numerals and hats to match the jerseys. Barnstormers and the Blue Crabs here again tomorrow night, 6:30 the start time, 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon for the series finale before the Barnstormers jump on a 737 and head down to Houston Hobby Airport in a 7-game week-long series against the Sugar Land Skeeters. And now we're sending you down to the field. Here are our opening ceremonies.
And now, fans, please remain standing and remove your hats as we honor the United States of America with our national anthem. Here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, Baird Thompson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Baird Thompson and Olivia Orama.
God bless America and the national anthem this evening at Clipper Magazine Stadium as the fans continue to file in for Friday night baseball. Christmas in July. Tomorrow night is Celtic night here, so the green theme will continue. Tomorrow night also fireworks following the ball game. Sunday, a family fun day at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers hosting the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs all weekend. The Blue Crabs have drawn even with the Barnstormers in the season series. Southern Maryland has never won the season series against the Barnstormers. They have tied 5 out of the 11 seasons. They have never won the season series, but Stan Clyburn has his ball club in position to do that here in 2019, but the Barnstormers certainly looking to turn the momentum around in the season series here tonight. Kyle Davies on the hill for the Barnstormers, 6'1" right-hander from McDonough, Georgia. Davies comes in at 35 years of age. He turns 36 in September. Of course, he's been to the major leagues with 3 different ball clubs. He's had a great career in the minor leagues. This season, he has looked sharp throughout, but his record is only 4-8. He's covered 90 1/3 innings. He's allowed 93 hits, just 24 walks. He has struck out 66 on the campaign. 4-8 with a 3.79 earned run average. Against the Blue Crabs, Davies in 4 starts is 1-2 with a 3.00 ERA, and of course had those two memorable battles against Darrell Thompson in the first half of the season. Last time he faced the Blue Crabs, he gave up 4 runs in the first inning, nothing else the rest of the way, but lost 4-0. And his last time out, he lost to the Long Island Ducks 5-4 on Saturday night. Joe Terdoslavich at third. The shortstop is Michael Martinez. Melvin Mercedes at second base. Casey Hobson at first. Andrew Applin, Darian Sanford, and Destin Hood. The outfield from left to right. Parker Morin doing the catching with Davies on the hill. He's facing Kent Blackstone, the left-handed batting second baseman, leading off tonight for Southern Maryland. First pitch of the ball game sails upstairs. It is ball one, 1-0. Working the plate tonight is Frank Iarilli, Warren Nicholson at first base, Jerry Martinez, the third base umpire. And, of course, the automated balls and strike system is in place and will be for the rest of the season, calling the balls and strikes. 1-1 after a foul tip at the plate. Blackstone facing Kyle Davies, Edwin Garcia on deck, and then it will be Joe Benson. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Davies working ahead of Blackstone in the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Sanford playing off of straightaway to the left side against Blackstone, who takes a 1-2 breaking ball in the dirt, covered up by Morin. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Frankie Iarilli, Warren Nicholson, Jerry Martinez, a crew we usually see up in the northern part of the league. They work games at Long Island quite a bit, especially Warren. We've seen him a lot of the games against the Ducks up there this year. 2-2 pitch inside and low. Filling the count on Blackstone, 3-2. He's trying to work his way on to start things off here tonight. Another very sunny night at Clipper Magazine Stadium. No air moving. 3-2 pitch, wrapped foul on the ground up the first baseline. The count will continue at 3-2. And not terribly humid. The temperature as we go through this week is inching upwards incrementally, and it should be fairly hot again, I guess, by late in the weekend. Here's the 3-2 pitch. This is popped up, foul behind the plate. Spinning around is Morin, but he has no chance. 3-2 continuing on Blackstone as his leadoff at bat in the ball game gets extended to an 8th pitch. 300 down the line and right, 400 to center, 320 to left here. The payoff pitch is high. Blackstone with a leadoff walk. Davies doesn't issue many. He's been averaging 2.4 per 9 innings this year, and 8 of the walks that Kyle has allowed have come in his 2 starts at Long Island. But he puts the leadoff man on here. Edwin Garcia, the shortstop, steps in. Garcia hitting .245 on the year. He has 3 home runs. He has driven in 27. The Barnstormers will set the infield at double play depth, the motion and the pitch. That is delivered for a strike. It is 0-1. Blackstone has 9 steals. He's been caught twice. Held at first base by Casey Hobson, a loose hold at the bag. The motion, the next offering is hit high in the air, left field. Applin to his left. Andrew is there. Blackstone playing it halfway, retreats to first. 1 out. Joe Benson, the left fielder, comes to the plate for the Barnstormers. Benson is also hitting .245. He has 3 home runs, and he has driven in 13. The Blue Crabs have improved at the plate. They were last in the league by far in team batting in the first half. Everybody seems to be on the upswing, but their numbers still are not staggering for the season. They're all pretty good, though, in the second half. Blackstone, the runner at first with 1 out. The pitch to Benson ties him up. Foul ball away, and it's 0-1. Some of the group areas are pretty full tonight. The seating bowl getting fireworks tomorrow. Great weekend. Come on out. There goes Blackstone. The pitch is taken low. Morin's throw is going to be late at second base. Blackstone in with his 10th steal. Joe Benson bats at a ball and a strike. Morin had a tough pitch to handle and throw. He made a good throw, but he really didn't have too much of a chance to get it there in time. Blackstone had a decent start, and it was a tough pitch to handle. 1-1 on the Reedy Joe Benson. The pitch breaks low for ball 2, 2-1. Dean Green, the designated hitter, waits on deck, and he's not quite as hot as he had been when we faced the Blue Crabs at Regency Furniture Stadium 2 weeks ago, but his numbers are still quite healthy. Here's the motion, the delivery. Ground ball, bang toward the middle. That is through for a base hit. Around third is Blackstone. He is going to come home to score. An RBI single by Benson and a 1-0 lead early for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Benson with the RBI base hit up the middle, and that will bring on Green, the designated hitter, batting .367 with a home run and 16 runs batted in. He has just been a beast. He was 7 for 12 in the series against the Barnstormers at Southern Maryland 2 weeks ago. His home run was hit to the opposite field at Regency Furniture Stadium. He is largely, or at least he was in that series, an opposite field hitter. And here a ground ball the other way, almost a shift on. The backhanded feed is offline to the second baseman from Turdoslavich to Mercedes on a weird-looking play, but then they fire back to first and get Green. Oh, that out on a slow roller on the left side went 5-4-3. Benson arrived safely at second on the backhanded feed that was a little bit awkward and well offline, and Vaughn will step in. 5 to 6 to 3 on that play. The runner had taken off. Mercedes and Martinez both sort of headed toward the middle. Turdoslavich cut the ball off. And here is Vaughn with 2 outs and the runner in scoring position. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by Morin. Ball 1, no strikes. The everyday 5-6-3 out at first base. You see that at least twice a game, maybe more. No, you don't. Runner at second base with 2 gone. Davies to the set, the pitch, inside and low. He's behind Vaughn, 2-0. The switch hitting catcher Charlie Valerio waiting on deck. What a spectacular night for baseball here. It is grand and should be again tomorrow night. Davies steps off, throws to second base, and that throw ends up in center field. Backing up the play is Martinez. An off-balance throw to third will not be there in time. An error will be charged to Davies. Benson to third base. 2 balls and no strikes, the remaining count on Corey Vaughn, and a chance for Southern Maryland to strike for a second run here in the opening inning. Nothing's been hit terribly hard against Kyle, but he got himself in trouble with the leadoff walk to Blackstone, one that Blackstone well earned. He stole second, scored on the single up the middle by Benson, which wasn't tattooed. An odd-looking out for Green. The error sends Benson to third, now to Vaughn. Ball 3 is high, 3-0. Vaughn, the other night, hit a walk-off 2-run homer against High Point, beating the Rockers 2-1. 3-0 is there. A strike taken. It is 3-1. Stu doesn't care that it's 3-0. He's going to call the balls and strikes as he sees them. Ball 4 outside and low. Runners now at the corners. Of course, Stu is my pet nickname for the automated balls and strikes system. And they called that a strike belatedly. And that will sometimes happen, so it's 3-2 on Vaughn. He was headed to first. There had been no signal by Frank Iarelli, but it just caught the corner. 3-2 now. And it is lofted to shallow center. Backpedaling on this is Michael Martinez. He'll squeeze it. And Kyle Davies is out of the inning with just a run on 1 hit. There was an error, 1 man left on base at the end of half an inning tonight. It is the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 1, the Lancaster Barnstormers coming up.
Merry Christmas to you all. I'm here with my
Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Michael Martinez leading off the bottom half of the first inning. The Barnstormers down a run here at the outset of the ball game. Martinez batting right-handed against left-hander Tommy Thorpe. Thorpe is 2-3 with a 4.95 ERA, 34 hits in 40 innings. First delivery is inside and low, ball one, no strikes. 34 hits allowed in the 40 innings, 22 earned runs. Thorpe has walked 33, and he has struck out 29. To Martinez, ball is lifted to left center field. Corey Vaughn marching over, Vaughn underneath to make the catch. Martinez retired for the first out. Caleb Gindle, the designated hitter, will come to the plate. Martinez has some power, but his power generally is batting left-handed and pulling the ball to right field. And Michael is in somewhat of a rut lately with a lot of fly ball outs. And he starts the night with one. Gindle stepping in. Caleb, 298 with 12 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Drawing a lot of walks lately. He gets ball one outside and low from Thorpe. It is 1-0. Caleb has drawn 10 walks in the last 5 games, 5 in the last 2. One out, nobody on. Lancaster down a run, bottom of the first inning. And Thorpe delivers outside and low again to Gindle. This one was slightly closer. Ball 2 and no strikes. Tony Thomas at third. The shortstop is Edwin Garcia. Kent Blackstone at second. Josh McAdams over at first. 2-0. And that is ball 3. A little bit high to Gindle. 3-0. Joe Benson is in left. Corey Vaughn in center. Ruby Silva in right. Charlie Valerio doing the catching for the Blue Crabs. Gindle up there 3-0. Does he have the green light? We will not know. Ball 4 is high and inside, and it's another walk to Gindle. Caleb had stated all along that once the automated ball and strike system was in place, he was going to start to draw even more walks. Not that he had a problem with it to start with, but he certainly has taken advantage of that. Now drawing his 51st walk of the season, his 11th in 6 games. Here's the red-hot Joe Trdoslavich slicing a foul out of play to the right. It's 0-1. Trdoslavich on his longest hitting streak of the year. He's batted safely in 8 consecutive games. And during the streak, he has batted .533, 16 out of 30, averaging 2 hits a night. Gindle off first, 1 out in the inning. A quick pitch to the plate. Trdoslavich, a ground ball near the middle. The second baseman, Blackstone to Garcia, and he fires to McAdams, a double play. And Thorpe is out of the inning in a hurry on the 4-6-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base at the end of an inning here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Southern Maryland owns a 1-0 lead.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
Catcher Charlie Valerio steps in to lead off the second inning for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. The Blue Crabs out to the 1-0 start. Southern Maryland certainly enjoyed the best of that series 2 weekends ago. They outscored the Barnstormers that weekend 25-5 and up 1-0 here. Kyle Davies fires and Valerio takes a strike. It is 0-1. Charlie Valerio batting .277. He's cooled off some since the last time we saw him. 5 home runs. He has knocked in 19. The pitch gets all the way to the backstop, and it's a good thing that Valerio did not go because that said pitch also kicked right back to Parker Morin. Southern Maryland has done it twice. Of course, Tony Thomas, the first guy to go to first base on something before strike 3 in baseball history. High fly ball right field. Destin Hood hardly has to move. He is there. Valerio's retired on the fly ball, 1 away. And here is Tony Thomas, who has made the Barnstormers suffer a couple of indignities over the past year or so. The walk-off grand slam for Sugar Land and being the first guy to take first base. It was no balls and a strike against Alejandro Chacin. And the pitch got away from Anderson De La Rosa. Thomas took off, made baseball history. Way upstairs for a ball. It is 1-0 from Davies to Thomas. Thomas also hit a 3-run home run off of Kyle the last time Davies faced the Blue Crabs. 1 out, nobody on base. Top half of the second inning. Here's the motion. Davies fires upstairs. And it is 2 balls and no strikes to Thomas. Davies walked 1 last inning and came close to walking Vaughn. He doesn't seem to be in a terribly good rhythm tonight. Swing and a miss at a fastball. We go to 2-1. Josh McAdams, right-handed batter, corner infielder, playing first tonight. Waits on deck. Thomas has moved in from the outfield to play third for Southern Maryland upon the retirement of Frank Martinez. Fly ball shallow center. Martinez started back but realized that ball Sanford's the whole way. Darian with the catch, 2 up and 2 down here in the second. McAdams will step in, the first baseman, hitting .297. He has 3 home runs. He has driven in 11. He was the other guy for Southern Maryland to take a dash to first base on a pitch getting away. That's always been part of the game on strike 3, except with fewer than 2 outs and first base occupied. That rule has gone away too. You're not automatically out anymore. Jimmy Paredes took advantage of that on the first Friday night with these new rules in place. Foul ball back, 1 strike to McAdams. Davies winds, fires his breaking ball as McAdams badly fooled. A swing and a miss, it's 0-2. Ruby Silva, the left-handed batting right fielder, waits on deck. Barnstormers will have Applin, Hood, and Hobson against Thorpe in the second inning. Ross People sticking with a lot of left-handed batters in the lineup against the Southpaw Thorpe. Ball 1 is down and away, 1-2, and part of the reason for that is that there's only 1 left-hander in Stan Clyburn's bullpen. The longest Thorpe has gone in a game is 6 innings. So you've got some beneficial matchups perhaps later on. Foul ball back. McAdams continues at a ball and 2 strikes. With Gindel, it doesn't really seem to matter. Hobson bats better against left-handers. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball, and that is grounded on the left side. Scooped up eventually by Terdoslavich. His throw is high but manageable. It wasn't pretty, but the Barnstormers complete the play 5-3. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Davies in the top half of the second. We're through 1.5 tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The score is Southern Maryland 1 and the Barnstormers nothing. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with Pick Games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any Pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play Pick Games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Andrew Applin, the Barnstormers cleanup hitter, leads off in the second inning. Applin at .258. He's had 10 singles in a 6-game hitting streak. He has 2 home runs now and 11 runs batted in, still without a double or a triple. Had some huge hits in the Somerset series, did Applin, a couple of bases-loaded singles. First delivery from Thorpe catches the inside corner for a strike. It is 0-1. The Barnstormers beat Thorpe here back on June 30th. He worked 4 innings in what at that time was basically a spot start. He's now a rotation starter for Stan Clyburn. He gave up 4 hits and 4 runs in 4 innings. No balls and a strike to Applin, and Thorpe finds the range again. No balls and 2 strikes to Andrew. Destin Hood, the right fielder, waits on deck. Lancaster trailing by 1 here in the bottom half of the second inning. The motion, the 0-2. Pitch sails up and away. Ball 1 to the left-handed hitting Applin. The other left-handed hitter Thorpe has faced was Caleb Gindel, who drew a 4-pitch walk back in the first inning. Applin up there at 1-2. The pitch breaks off the outside corner. Back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. RBI base hit for Joe Benson. The difference in the ball game so far, we're still early. Applin batting 2-2. Thorpe ready to go. This is popped up, foul and out of play. Over on the third base side, behind the visiting dugout. Ross Peoples coaching third. Troy Steffi is at first base for the Barnstormers, waiting on some traffic. Applin bats 2-2. The pitch is driven toward right center field. Racing over on this is Vaughn. He'll extend, and the ball is off the end of his glove. Applin will cruise into second base, and he has that first double. The Barnstormers with a runner in scoring position and a 7-game hitting streak for Andrew Applin. Double to the gap in right center field. Vaughn came within a couple of inches of reeling that in. Covered a lot of territory to get there, did Corey Vaughn. Destin Hood, the batter. Hood at 213 now with a pair of home runs, 8 runs batted in. To me, it is no surprise that his surge at the plate and the Barnstormers' surge in the standings correspond to one another. The left-hander Thorpe ready to go, and a first pitch strike to Hood. It is 0-1. Destin has batted safely now in 5 consecutive games. He's 8 out of 22 with 2 doubles and a home run. Applin off second. The pitch to Hood is rolled foul at the first base side. Very quickly, Thorpe is ahead 0-2. Casey Hobson on deck, and then Parker Morin. The left-handed batters have had success so far tonight against Tommy Thorpe. And that has actually been the case marginally over the course of the season. Left-handed batters hitting slightly better in terms of average, 262, as opposed to right-handers, 225. No balls, 2 strikes. Hood swings and drives this deep to left field, down the line, headed toward the corner, and the walls will not contain it. Destin Hood yanks one out down the left field line. The Barnstormers grab a 2-1 lead. He's made the difference in this lineup. That is his 3rd home run. It's a 6-game hitting streak now for Destin Hood. He's become a big run producer, and that's what the Barnstormers were waiting for all that time, that he couldn't go because of the offseason back surgery. The ball just flies off the bat of Destin Hood. That was just a line drive, belted down the line. A 2-run shot. Here is Casey Hobson. Hobson at 219, but with 14 home runs. He's driven in 49. Thorpe is down and away. Ball 1 and no strikes. Lancaster has gotten tremendous production on this homestand out of players other than Gindel and Turdoslavich, and that is exactly what Ross talked about on the dugout report last Sunday, how that needed to happen, and boy, it has really started. 2-0 to Hobson. Foul ball back to the screen. 2-1 on Casey, who has 3 of his 14 home runs and 10 of the 49 runs batted in at Southern Maryland's expense. Lancaster ahead 2-1 here in the bottom of the second. A double for Applin, a home run for Hood. Both had been down 0-2 in the count. The next pitch delivered for his second strike to Hobson, and now he's in there at 2-2, although it's gone the other way. The ball's coming first, the strike's coming later. Parker Morin waits on deck, still nobody out in the inning. To Hobson, swing and a fly ball to shallow right. Up there a ways, Silva has to wait, he's got it. Hobson retired for the first out. Morin will step in. Parker hitting .288 with 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. With Melvin Mercedes in the on-deck circle. Into the motion. Down and away is Thorpe to Morin. Ball 1 and no strikes. Parker 1 for 4 last night in the 10-0 victory. He got to handle Buddy Bauman's shutout, which was really a pleasure to watch. One of the better pitched games that the Barnstormers have had in a while since some of Reed's efforts last year. A 9-inning complete game shutout. That was the first of those by a Barnstormer since Brian Evans in August of 2016. Morin swings in this. The pitch was high and inside. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Mercedes, the switch hitter, waits on deck. Lancaster up by a run here in the second inning. The motion. Here's a 1-2. A little bit low, it appeared. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Double, a home run. already in the inning. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss by Moore, and he is gone. Thorpe with his first strikeout. Mercedes will step in. By listing, anyway, I do believe the shortest player in the Atlantic League. 5 feet 6 inches tall, Melvin Mercedes. But having him back is also a plus for this ball club. Taking over largely everyday second base chores from Dan Gamache after Gamache headed to the Oakland A's system. Inside and low, ball 1 to Mercedes. Melvin 0 for 3 since his return from the ankle injury. He had 5 hits in his last 9 at-bats when he got hurt. Foul ball back to the top of the screen. Mercedes also let go of the bat there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mercedes. Darian Sanford waits on deck. Darian had some work in the cage today with none other than Lastings Millage, who passed through town. Lastings, of course, a Barnstormer 2 years ago, very good friend of Darian's and the one-time first-round pick who spent quite a bit of time in the major leagues as well as in Japan, is coaching a 10 and under team in a tournament in Hershey, and he had the kids out here on the field with the Barnstormers earlier today. Always great catching up with Lastings Millage. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Mercedes awaiting the pitch from Thorpe, and this ball is hit to center field. Vaughn back a step or 2, but an easy play for the center fielder. Another put out for an outfielder, but the Barnstormers pick up 2 runs in the inning on the Destin Hood home run. 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 2, the Barnstormers enjoy a 2-1 lead.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trip's transportation needs, providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124. There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Ruby Silva leads off the top half of the 3rd inning. Left-handed batting right fielder, 243 hitter with 8 home runs, 33 batted in. The delivery from Davies, a strike to the inner part of the plate. It is 0-1. Tough beginning for Kyle tonight. Gave up a run in the 1st inning. Got out of it with a 2nd runner at 3rd base. Got the side in order last inning. Bouncer foul. He has Silva at no balls and 2 strikes. And as you can hear in the background, Ruby Silva is the K-man here tonight. 0-2. To the right fielder, Silva. Here's the motion. Davies to the plate. Little squibber foul of the 3rd base side, rolling to a halt at the Southern Maryland dugout. Still 0-2 on the former York second baseman, Ruby Silva. He's bounced around this league some. He's a very solid player. 0-2. Chopped foul up the first base side. And the count will continue at no balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster 2, Southern Maryland 1 in the top half of the 3rd inning. Target set by Morin. Davies to the plate. The fastball upstairs to make it 1-2. Since the RBI single by Benson in the 1st inning, 5 in a row set down by Davies. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes sailing, but lands on the apron between the Barnstormers dugout and the bullpen bench. Davies with his first strikeout. Silva has the bat go flying. 1 out, and Kent Blackstone, the second baseman, will come to the plate. Still not as good as a Lance Zawadski hammer throw. Zawadski used to get to the back of the seats when he lost control of a bat. Here is Blackstone. Walked and scored in the 1st inning. Davies fires to the backstop, and again, it comes right back to Morin. So a good thing that Blackstone did not try to take off. On his end, it would have been golden for the Barnstormers. 1 ball, no strikes on Blackstone. Davies ready to go. The next one cut on and missed. A fastball tied him up inside. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Davies has been slightly more erratic with its pitches than we're used to seeing. And again, very high, 2-1. He is generally somebody who's very, very precise. Doesn't walk many, and when he does, he's still typically right around the zone. 2-1, and Blackstone will look at a second strike on that fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Terdoslavich even with the bag at third against Blackstone, who runs well, because you can still bunt with 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2, breaking ball, and that is popped up, and it will get to the seats on the first base side. Hobson took a step or 2 and then gave up on it. Daisuke Yoshida coaching third base for Southern Maryland, and a jacket-clad probably pitcher coaching first. Joe Walsh had some surgery, from what I understand, a couple days ago, and is not with the ball club this weekend. We wish our good friend Joe all the best on his recuperation. And we'll have to wait till the next time we go to Southern Maryland to catch up. 3-2, the count on Blackstone. Here is the windup, and the payoff pitch rolled on the right side. Mercedes, the second baseman, with an easy chance. He throws low to Hobson. 2 outs. I don't mean in the dirt, I mean down around the knees. Melvin learned his lesson the other night when he threw a ball out of the sun and almost decapitated KC. Amazingly, Hobson was able to snatch the throw, but he was completely blinded, ducked out of the way, and was dazed for a bit. Big breaking ball back for a called strike on Edwin Garcia. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Garcia trailing 0-2. We saw Buddy Bauman last night in one stretch retire 15 straight Somerset batters, as Davies is well low and outside to Garcia here. A ball and 2 strikes. Jonathan Albaladejo 2 nights ago had a stretch of 10 and another of 9 consecutive batters retired. Davies' 1-2 offering is low. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. Kyle's gotten 7 straight here. The season high is 20. Jared Lakin on Memorial Day against the Long Island Ducks at Bethpage Ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Edwin Garcia. The Davies pitch is punched foul off to the right and curling toward the end of the sky boxes. Still 2-2. Barnstormers 2, Southern Maryland 1. Top half of the 3rd inning. Kyle Davies comes back. A breaking ball grounded foul past third. Another lengthy at bat Blackstone started the game with one. Now Garcia has been up there for a significant period of time with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-2 to the shortstop Garcia. He gets ball 3 below the knees. 3-2. Joe Benson is on deck. Davies rears back, brings home the payoff pitch. Line drive gloved at the shoelaces by Casey Hobson, and the inning. Good at bat for Edwin Garcia. He tried to go the other way at 3-2, but Hobson interrupted the plan. Nothing across in the top of the third inning. Through 2.5 here tonight at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers own a 2-1 lead.
This is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
Darian Sanford leads off the third for the Barnstormers. His average has dipped to .226. He has driven in 14 runs. Thorpe into the motion, and Darian will look at a strike. It is 0-1. Very often when Lastings comes through, Sanford gets hot, makes some minor adjustments. Most of the slump has been with Darian batting from the left side of the plate anyhow. Next pitch is a ball off the outside corner. And the count levels at 1-1. 2-1 Barnstormers. Sanford, Martinez, and Gindel scheduled against Thorpe here in the bottom of inning 3. Southpaw into the motion. Sanford gets ball 2 inside and low. And the last thing that Tommy Thorpe wants to do here, unless he's got a very good move under the new rules to first base, is walk Sanford to start an inning. 2-1. Sanford with a little looper out the shallow right field. Going back, the second baseman Blackstone lunges and can't quite reel it in. A bloop hit for Sanford, and now the fun starts. Runner at first, nobody out. Michael Martinez comes to the plate. He flied out to fairly deep center, leading off the ball game for the Barnstormers. Does he take a pitch and let Sanford go? Darian, 40 for 46, stealing bases this year. He leads the league by quite a lot. Out to the lead. We'll see what Thorpe has to the plate. Darian stayed put. A strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Sanford has a good lead, being held by McAdams over at first. There's the step-off move, and the throw rolls behind McAdams, but not far enough. Sanford unable to advance. He's the runner at first with nobody out. Martinez down a strike at 0-1. Caleb Gindel waiting on deck. 3 hits now for the Barnstormers in the contest. There's another step-off move by Thorpe. Back in is Sanford. Left-handers have had to master a new move. No longer can they dangle that leg to try and freeze a runner. There's a huge lead by Sanford. He doesn't go. The pitch missing the zone. Throw behind Darian is late. He must not have liked the conditions right there because it looked like he was about to get a huge jump against Thorpe. Martinez batting at 1-1. Third baseman Thomas forced to play ahead of the bag here. Always the chance Martinez could bunt. There's a move to first base, and back in is Sanford, but Darian is testing the edges of the envelope. He's out about as far as he can go. Time is called by Warren Nicholson, so Sanford could garden his leading spot. And the Blue Crabs didn't right away pick up that Nicholson had given Darian the timeout. Thorpe threw over there. Sanford is out once again, slightly past the cut in the grass. He's going to stay put, and Martinez gets ball 2 a little bit high. 2 balls and a strike. Sanford not so inclined to go here, and we're not used to seeing that, but he's still very much a distraction to Tommy Thorpe. To the plate, strike 2 on the outside corner. One thing Thorpe is doing, he's very quick to the plate. That's an incredibly short stride that he has, with the league's most dangerous base stealer on at first. 2-2 to Martinez. To the set is Thorpe. And he's high and outside again. Valerio looking for a throw to first base, but Sanford was already headed back in. Full count on Martinez, and I would have to think Sanford is on the move here. Payoff pitch is due to the Barnstormer shortstop. Sanford holds, swinging a line drive out the left, down for a base hit. Well, Sanford will move up to second. Martinez behind him at first. A threat built in the Barnstormers' half of the third inning. Caleb Gindel, a designated hitter, comes to the plate. Gindel with a walk. Back in the first inning, he was erased on a double play. One of the league's best clutch hitters is Caleb Gindel. 55 runs batted in on the season, 403 with runners in scoring position. Batting with 2 on and nobody out. Thorpe looks back to Sanford. Gindel squares around a bunt, pops it up foul into the seats. And a nice play is made below me into my left. No balls, 1 strike, the count to Gindel. He is third now in the Atlantic League and runs batted in behind Telvin Nash and Jason Rogers. Sanford and Martinez take their leads. And Thorpe bluffs Sanford back into second as Garcia was hovering in the neighborhood. Gindel, a DH for the Barnstormers here tonight. The reason that he has tailed off in the RBI department is being jumped to the number 2 spot in the batting order. And these two guys, Sanford and Martinez, haven't been on base all that often. To Gindel, it is high. Throw behind Sanford, and he just got back into second base. Charlie Valerio came awfully close to picking Sanford off. 1 ball, 1 strike to Gindel. Joe Turdoslavich waits on deck. Lancaster leading 2-1, bottom of the third, and trying to build upon that lead. Infield set, double play depth now for Southern Maryland. It is 1 ball, 1 strike to Caleb Gindel. Sanford, a good-sized lead off second. He's going to take off. The pitch is low. The throw by Valerio to third, not in time. Darian Sanford steals his 41st.
It's a stolen base. It's presented by Escape On Clean, and every fan tonight will receive a coupon as they exit.
That ties Darian for number 6 all-time in Atlantic League history in stolen bases. Martinez did not take off. The runners are at the corners with nobody out. The edge in the count to Gindel. Thorpe comes set, and to Caleb. It is upstairs in ball 3. Big opportunity for the Lancaster Barnstormers in the bottom half of the third inning to grow the lead. Sanford off third, Martinez off first. Gindel awaits the 3-1, swings and hits it high in the air toward right center field. Ruby Silva is out there and concedes it to Corey Vaughn. Here comes Sanford, easily tagging and scoring from third. Caleb Gindel hardly ever lets that opportunity go by, and he drives in his 56th run of the season. Gindel, with the runner at third base and fewer than 2 outs, has gotten that run home a remarkable 17 out of 20 times. 3-1. Martinez stayed at first base. He's there with 1 out. Joe Terdoslavich steps in. Terdoslavich bounced into a 4-6-3 double play up the middle back in the first inning. Thorpe comes set. Terdoslavich with a ground ball base hit into left field. His hitting streak extended to 9. Ahead to second goes Martinez. The Barnstormers continue to build an inning against Tommy Thorpe here in the third. Andrew Applin, the left-handed batting left fielder, comes to the plate. Applin doubled and scored back in the second inning. Martinez at second, Terdoslavich at first with 1 out of the inning. Everyone to bat so far here in the Lancaster half of the third has accomplished something positive for this ball club. Thorpe ready to go. The pitch to Applin, slapped on the left side. That will be through for a base hit. Martinez is being waved as Benson charges. He'll throw into third. It's an RBI base hit for Applin. The Barnstormers lead 4-1 with Destin Hood coming to the plate. Terdoslavich stopped at second base on the play. Hood slammed a 2-run homer down the left field line back in the second inning. He gets his second look at Thorpe. What an absolute change in this ball club over the last week. This team had struggled so badly for so long, going 7-29. And now a 4-game winning streak and leading 4-1 tonight. Hood against Thorpe, and the pitch is low, ball 1 and no strikes. And Destin Hood right now is in beast mode. Barnstormers fans getting a taste now of what I have been talking about with this guy since the start of the season, how badly he was needed. Runners lead off first and second. Thorpe to the plate. Hood dribbles a foul straight back, and it's 1-1 to Destin. Terdoslavich at second base. Applin the runner at first. 4 base hits in the inning, although you could make the argument the hardest hit ball was the sac fly by Gindel toward the warning track in right center. Hood bats at 1-1. The left-hander Thorpe comes to the set, glances at the runners. Here's the pitch, and Destin hits a fly ball to right. He didn't get much of that. Ruby Silva is in to make the catch. Tagging and only kidding off second is Terdoslavich. 2 outs in the inning. Casey Hobson to the plate. Hobson got underneath a fly ball to right field back in the second inning. Didn't hit it terribly far back. 4-1 Lancaster here in the third. The Barnstormers taking advantage of run-scoring opportunities tonight. We'll see if Hobson can add to this inning. He's batting with Parker Morin stationed in the on-deck circle. Lancaster ahead by 3 for Kyle Davies. The 2 runners take their leads. Thorpe to Hobson. That is a strike right on the outer edge. It is 0-1. Glance back to second. Here's the pitch. And once again, a strike dealt to the outer edge. Hobson trailing 0-2 here. Four base hits for the Barnstormers here in the third inning, all singles. Thorpe is ready. Here's the 0-2 to Hobson, swinging and missing. For Tommy Thorpe, that is strikeout number 2 in the ball game. The Barnstormers pick up 2 runs on 4 hits with no errors, 2 runners left on base. We're done with 3 tonight here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. The Barnstormers have extended the lead. It is now 4-1.
When in need of new appliances for your home, come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer, making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Joe Benson, the last man to reach base against Kyle Davies. He did so with an RBI single back in the first inning. Leads off the 4th for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. 8 in a row set down by Davies, and the ball game is swung to his favor. It is 4-1 Lancaster. Benson, who at one point played for Sugar Land, awaiting the pitch, and this is hit in the air, right field. And fairly deep back on this goes Hood. Destin will look up, and that ball bounces off the wall. Benson sprinting into second, and he's there with a leadoff double. The throw rolling all the way through to Terdoslavich.
Designated hitter Dean Green.
Benson was digging all the way, showing some great hustle, not thinking, well, maybe I hit a home run here and could go into a jog. And he was well on his way to second by the time the ball even came off the wall and right. Dean Green to the plate. Green out on a peculiar 5-6-3 play back in the first inning. Terdoslavich getting to a ball toward the hole at shortstop and firing to Martinez, who was over covering with a runner on the move. Here's a pitch to Green, and it is a strike on the inside corner. Joe Benson proving himself to be a thorn in the side of Kyle Davies tonight. He is 2 for 2, the only 2 hits Kyle's allowed. 4-1 Lancaster with a runner at second, nobody out. Green batting at no balls and a strike. Davies to the plate, and this is popped up toward the left field line. Charging over is Applin. He'll pull up just short of the stripe and make the catch. Green is pretty much a dyed-in-the-wool opposite field hitter. Runner at second now with 1 out. Corey Vaughn the batter. Vaughn looked like he had walked back in the first inning, but the longest delay we have seen with the automated balls and strikes, and he was rung up on the 3-1 pitch and then popped the short on the next one, closing out the first inning. Runner at second base with 1 gone. Here in the top half of the 4th, Vaughn stepping in against Kyle Davies. Benson off second. The pitch is rocked to left center field. Sprinting back on this is Sanford. It is over Darian's head and out to the wall. Benson is around second base, and he's going to come home to score. I think Martinez almost got blinded on the relay throw. Vaughn with an RBI double, and it's now 4-2 with Charlie Valerio coming to the plate. Corey Vaughn with his 11th double of the year, and that ball was slammed out to that deep gap in left center field. Since the extra row of fence signs has been added, it is almost unreachable for a home run. Vaughn, the runner in scoring position in what is now a 4-2 ball game. Valerio fly to right his first time up. Davies comes set. His delivery inside and low, bounces free from Morin, and easily getting to third is Vaughn. Wild pitch charged. And Southern Maryland knocking on the door of being within a run. Still only one out in the inning. Vaughn up to third. Valerio batting at 1 ball and no strikes here. Kyle Davies out of the full line, brings it home, and he's down low for ball 2. Tony Thomas waits on deck. They were going after Davies early in this inning. Next offering, ground ball right side. It'll score a run. Mercedes scoops it up, has a short throw to retire the catcher, 4-3, but give Valerio an RBI as Vaughn scores. We have a 1-run game with 2 outs, nobody on. The third baseman, Tony Thomas, will come to the plate. Thomas flied out to Sanford in center field back in the second inning on a shallow air ball. 2 doubles in the inning, and Southern Maryland has made the most out of those. Now to Thomas, huge breaking ball, swung on and missed. No balls and a strike. Blue Crabs 8-4 here in the second half. The Barnstormers 5-8. But Lancaster on the 4-game winning streak coming in. Down low, ball 1 and strike 1. The count to Thomas. And the next one from Davies, who works very quickly, is also low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kyle again ready to go. The 2-1 pitch, and this is hit well. Left center field. Going back, Applin. Going back, Sanford. Applin on the track. Leaps up, and he's got it for the final out. Tony Thomas coming up just a little bit short of the left field fence, very deep here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It'll close out the inning. Southern Maryland scores 2 on 2 hits. No Barnstormers errors, and nobody was left on base. We're done with 3.5 tonight here in Lancaster, with the Barnstormers ahead 4-3.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
Parker Morin leads off the bottom of the 4th against Tommy Thorpe. Morin a strikeout victim back in the second inning. The motion and the pitch. Parker drops a bunt down. It's a good one. Thorpe is on it. The lefty fires to first base, and a nice play by Tommy Thorpe, cutting down Parker Morin on what was a very pretty bunt by Parker. The out 1-3, and with one gone, Melvin Mercedes will come to the plate. Thorpe really helped himself out defensively there. A nimble, athletic play by the 6', 205-pound left-hander out of Vancouver, Washington. One out. Mercedes in from the right side. Melvin flied easily to center field, closing out the second inning. 4-3, Lancaster here in the bottom of the fourth after the two-run Southern Maryland top of the inning. Mercedes shows bunt, then takes an offering inside and low. Ball one, no strikes. The battle is on between two ball clubs that floundered in the first half but have found themselves as the bell is run for the second half. Delivery called strike on Mercedes, 1-1. And that is the pro or the con, depending on how you want to look at it, of the split season. One out, and the pitch to Mercedes, lifted in the air, right side. Over comes the first baseman, McAdams, but he will not have a play. 1-2, the count on Mercedes. 4-3 here with one out and nobody on in the bottom half of the fourth inning. In the other Atlantic League games tonight, it is New Britain up 7-4 at York. They're only in the top half of the fifth inning in a ball game that started well before ours. Mercedes, a floater down the right field line. That is over the head of the first baseman, McAdams, and good for a one-out base hit. The Barnstormers with their seventh hit. Darian Sanford will come to the plate. Sanford with a blue pit back in the third inning. Scored one of the two runs there. Sugarland with a 4-0 lead over High Point in the bottom half of the sixth. Then Long Island and Somerset scoreless in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Infield set, double play depth, maybe a little closer than normal with Sanford as the batter. Darian shows bunt. He takes a strike at the knees. It is 0-1. Mercedes is a fine base stealer. He had 4 before the injury, but I don't know that he's at full speed yet. Thorpe to the plate. Sanford with a looper toward left center field. Vaughn will come on and make the catch for out number 2. Darian couldn't get that one to sit. And with Mercedes at first and 2 out, Michael Martinez comes to the plate. Michael with a base hit to left field in the third inning and a run scored. 1 out of 2 in the ball game for him. Barnstormers with 7 hits. Applin has 2. Hobson and Morin are 0 for 2. Gindel is 0 for 0. Mercedes leads off first to Martinez. A strike taken. It's 0-1. The momentum in this ball game has switched back a bit to Southern Maryland. Thorpe looking to put up a 0 here after his ball club just backed him with 2 runs in the top of the inning. A ball outside to Martinez. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. Time called, requested by the catcher Valerio. He needs something out of the dugout.
One more reminder to season ticket holders, if you want to redeem your coupon, take a Christmas
He exchanged
picture
gloves.
Fan Services, and they will be ready for your picture through the end of the fifth inning.
1 ball, 1 strike on the switch hitting shortstop Martinez. Barnstormers continue to swing the bats well. 7 hits in the game, including a home run and a double. 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss by Martinez. He flailed rather wildly at that offering. And it's ball 1 and 2 strikes. Phillies are trailing 1-0 at the end of 4 to the Atlanta Braves. Big series in Philadelphia. Phillies 5.5 games out of the divisional lead. 1-2 pitch. Martinez pulls it to left. Benson glides over to make the catch. The Barnstormers shut down in the 4th inning on 1 hit. 1 man is left on base. We'll go to the 5th. It's Lancaster 4, Southern Maryland 3.
Who did a great job with the Barnstormers.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru Outdoor Experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru Outdoor Experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Josh McAdams in to start the top half of inning 5. McAdams grounded out to Joe Turdoslavich back in the 2nd inning. First offering here, cut on and fouled away. Back over the rooftop of the stadium, no balls and a strike. Braves are now up 2-0 on a Brian McCann home run. Top of the 5th inning at Philadelphia. Colorado owns a 6-2 lead at Cincinnati. Play is in the 6th. Fastball up and in, and McAdams has to bail. Ball 1 and a strike. The LA Dodgers playing at Washington, 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th. The Nats are threatening against Ryu. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rays and the Jays deadlocked at 1, bottom half of the 4th inning. Speaking of Tampa Bay, they purchased the contract today of Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman shortstop of the High Point Rockers, who had been one of the better players in this league. So congratulations to Ladendorf. Arizona up 2-1 at Miami in the top of the 4th inning. The pitch to McAdams is fouled away once more. Davies has struck out only 1. He has walked 1. He's been reached for 3 hits and 3 runs. The Blue Crabs have made a lot out of a little tonight. 1-2. He goes down swinging. McAdams is gone. Davies with his 2nd strikeout. 1 out. Ruby Silva, the right fielder, will come to the plate.
Now your Schlenker brothers came in the game. The right fielder, Ruby Silva.
Elsewhere, the New York Mets out to a 3-1 lead at home against Pittsburgh. They're through 4.5 innings. Boston up big early, 5-0 over the New York Yankees. The Red Sox are 11 out. They're certainly making waves about getting to a wild card. Ball 1 inside to Silva. 1-0 here. Cubs and the Brewers just starting in Milwaukee. And some other games are in that same boat. Everything in the Central Time Zone. Wicked cut and a miss by Silva. It's 1-1. Minnesota failed to score in the top of the 1st at the south side of Chicago. Indians are batting in the 1st inning at Kansas City. Ball 2 inside. Silva batting 2 balls and a strike. Houston rather, in St. Louis. No score in the 1st. And some other games out west later on. Strike 2 at the knees on Ruby Silva. It's 2-2. Texas is at Oakland. Baltimore in Anaheim against the Angels. San Francisco at San Diego. Detroit's in Seattle. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3 is low. A full count with Kent Blackstone waiting on deck. 4-3 here. The Barnstormers ahead with 1 out, nobody on in the top half of the 5th inning. The windup by Davies. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's rifled to the gap in left center field. Over in a hurry is Sanford. Silva's going to go for two. Here's a throw, and the throw is not handled by Mercedes. It was an awkward relay, and Silva ends up at second with a double. Sanford appeared to be in pretty good shape to be able to fire in and make a play on Silva. Then he relayed it through Martinez, and the throw from Martinez to Mercedes somehow got away. And I'm not sure that Melvin saw it cleanly, but by that time, Silva was going to be at second anyhow. Third double for Southern Maryland, the tying run in scoring position. Kent Blackstone, the batter, he's 0 for 1 with a walk. He swings and misses against Davies. It is no balls and a strike. Kyle's pitch count is also on the rise here. He had a long first and a pretty long third inning, despite the fact it was a 1-2-3 inning. The next pitch, Blackstone pops it up. This seems playable. Morin and Hobson are there. Parker Morin with the catch near the United Way logo on the first base side. Blackstone fouls out. 2 gone. And the batter is Edwin Garcia, who's fly to left and line to third. Two outs, and Garcia takes a breaking ball low. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Runner at second base now with 2 outs. Now 79 pitches. That was 80. Looper out the center. It's going to be a tie ball game. Wheeling around is Silva. The throw from Sanford is cut off. It is 4-4. Edwin Garcia with an RBI single. And we pretty much start all over again here in the 5th inning. Game is knotted. Davies giving up 4 runs in 4 2/3 innings. Joe Benson, the man who has really hurt him tonight, steps in. Benson singled in a run in the 1st inning, doubled off the wall and right, and eventually came around to score in the 4th. Southern Maryland has done remarkably well tonight, hitting with runners in scoring position. The club is 2 out of 6, 7 with runners in scoring position. 1 ball, no strikes to Benson. Down and away for ball 2. Dean Green waits on deck. The Barnstormers not too shabby in that category either. 2 out of 4. Garcia, the runner at first. He has stolen 3. The count to Benson, 2 balls, no strikes. And Davies is up and away for ball 3. It is 3-0. A 6-game losing streak for Davies. A lot of that because he hadn't gotten any run support. Tonight he has it, but he has surrendered a 4-1 lead, now battling to keep the ball game tied here in the 5th inning. Benson swinging 3-0, fouls it off. 3 balls, 1 strike to the right-handed batting Benson. Garcia held over at first base by Casey Hobson. Here's the motion. Davies high and inside. He has walked Benson, and Dean Green will step to the plate with runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Nobody throwing in the Barnstormers bullpen, but there is activity out there with some folks stretching. Green has grounded out to third via the shortstop, and he has flied to left. 0 for 2 in the ball game tonight. A man who was 7 for 12 in our series 2 weekends ago at Southern Maryland. Runners lead off first and second. Davies to the plate. That's pulled out to right field. Over is Hood. He's got to take it on a bounce. Here comes Garcia, and the throw is offline. It's 5-4 Southern Maryland. Around to third goes Benson. Dean Green with an RBI base hit, yanked out to right field. And Corey Vaughn, who blistered a long double to left center field his last time up, will step in. Southern Maryland has scored 2 in back-to-back innings to retake the lead here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Vaughn bats with Benson at third, and Green, the runner at first base. Davies to the plate, swing and a miss by Corey Vaughn. No balls and a strike, and there is action. Garrett Granitz begins to throw in the bullpen for the Lancaster Barnstormers. No balls, one strike. Davies comes back with a breaking ball and spins it to the inside corner at the top of the zone. It's 0-2. Kyle brings it home. It's fouled away. Still 0-2. Southern Maryland, a team that has also caught fire here in the second half, battles back nicely. Down and away. It trickles free from Morin. Davies will cover the plate, but not in time. A run scores, and it's 6-4. Joe Benson comes home. Green stayed at first base. It's a wild pitch, and 6-4. 3 runs home for Southern Maryland in the 5th inning. That's a play where Benson had to decide to make the move right away, and he did. And he beat Davies to home plate. 1-2 on Vaughn. Davies will deliver, and it's grounded into right field for a base hit. 4 in a row have reached base since Blackstone fouled out for the second out of this inning. Charlie Valerio will come to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a run batted in. And I don't think that Granitz has been warming up long enough here. Seven hits and 6 runs off Davies. At one point, Kyle had retired 8 batters in a row. But he has not been able to finish off this 5th inning. When he got the second out, he was still leading by a score of 4-3. 4 in a row have reached base. And now Valerio drives a ball down the left field line. Hustling over is Applin. Applin to the track, and he hauls it in for the final out. Andrew Applin showing his abilities in left field. He had to go a long way to make the catch against Charlie Valerio, but it's a 3-run inning on 4 hits for Southern Maryland. No Barnstormers errors. 2 runners are left on. We'll go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, and suddenly Southern Maryland has emerged into the lead. It is 6-4 Blue Crabs.
Off the first base dugout. So let's get this puppy started. Chicken at number 1.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
The Lancaster Barnstormers on a 4-game winning streak coming into tonight. The ball club has played extremely well, but they're faced with the challenge of coming from behind now in a ball game where they had built a fairly good-sized lead. Caleb Gindel leading off here against Tommy Thorpe. Gindel has walked and driven in a run with a sac fly. First pitch good for a strike. It is 0-1. 6-4 Southern Maryland. Gindel, Terdoslavich, and Applin batting here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Thorpe into his motion and to Gindel. It breaks outside and low. Good read by Caleb. He recognized fairly quickly where that ball was headed. One ball, one strike to the Lancaster designated hitter. 7 hits each way tonight. The motion and to Gindel. It is inside, ball 2. Thorpe, who more often than not has had control issues this year, has stayed away from the walk tonight except for the one to Gindel back in the first inning. 2-1 to Gindel. The motion, Thorpe to the plate. It's high, 3-1. Caleb, with the ball club down by 2, will take a walk if that's what's given to him. Only Telvin Nash has more in the Atlantic League this season. 3 balls and a strike to Gindel. He checks the swing, and the call holds up through the appeal to the third base umpire Martinez. Gindel on with the leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. Joe Terdoslavich will step in. Terdoslavich extended his hitting streak to 9 with a base hit back in the 3rd inning. He is 17 out of 32 in the streak, and he's become the top hitter on this Barnstormers ball club, climbing past the 300 mark, now to 305. Gindel, a short lead off first. Terdoslavich fouls one off. Down a strike against Thorpe. When this hot streak started for Terdoslavich, his average had dipped into the 270s. No balls and a strike. Thorpe from the stretch, ready to go. Terdoslavich fouls it to the screen. Thorpe has him 0-2. Andrew Applin, who has had a really terrific game so far, to close out the top of this inning. 2 strikes to Terdoslavich. Thorpe to the set, ready to go, and Joe lines this toward left center field. That is in for a base hit. Gindel will stop at second. The Barnstormers have the tying runs on, and the torrid stretch for Terdoslavich continues. Applin comes to the plate. Andrew with a double to right center and a single into left field. The big left-hander, Choplik, is warming up in the bullpen now for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, and Adam Choplik is the only lefty Stan Clyburn has available out of his pen. Gindel at second, Terdoslavich the runner at first. Applin digs in with Hood on deck. Here is the pitch. Applin shows bunt and takes a strike at the knees. He's down 0-1. The Barnstormers certainly have the opportunity to come right back and answer the 3-run top half of this inning. 2 on, nobody out. And now to Applin, a swing and a miss. Thorpe has him at 0-2. Gindel leads from second. Terdoslavich off first. Thorpe in control of the at-bat. 2 strikes on Applin. The lefty ready to go. Applin shows bunt, draws it back, and takes ball 1. Talked about all the success that Terdoslavich has had. Well, Applin is on a 7-game streak, and he's 12 out of 26. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners lead off first and second. Thorpe will deliver, and Applin again draws the bat back to take ball 2.
Nice. Very nice.
It looks like he may be intent on sacrificing the runners along here. You don't see a cleanup batter do that terribly often. 2-2 to the left fielder Applin. He had gone 0 for 8 in the series at Southern Maryland 2 weekends back. Here's the set. Now 2-2. He'll swing away and launch a foul ball headed to Prince Street. Still 2-2 to Applin. A walk and a single to start the inning. Thorpe to the belt. 2-2. Applin draws it back again and takes. Oh, strike three is called. The breaking ball got the bottom of the zone. Applin strikes out. Big first out for Tommy Thorpe here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Destin Hood will come to the plate. Hood with a two-run homer down the left field line in the second and an easy flyout to right field in the third inning. Here comes Stan Clyburn. Tommy Thorpe will not be left in long enough to notch a win in this ball game. He is going to be replaced here by the 6'9" left-hander Adam Choplik. We've got a pitching change. While we do, we'll take a break and pause for this.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Southern Maryland's bullpen takes over with runners at first and second, one out. In the bottom half of inning number 5, 6-4, Blue Crabs lead. The starter Thorpe giving up 8 hits in 4 1/3 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Now we'll face Destin Hood with 6'9" lefty Adam Choplik from Denton, Texas, 26 years of age. He goes 265 pounds. Tying runs on for the Barnstormers with play in the bottom half of inning number 5. Kindle off second, Terdoslavich off first, Choplik ready to go, and Hood takes a fastball off the outside corner for ball 1. Choplik is 0-1. This is his 30th game. His ERA 2.70. He has 12 holds for this ball club. 30 hits allowed in 30 innings, 9 earned runs. He's walked 11, struck out 35. Those are very commendable numbers. Ball 1, no strikes to Hood. The left-hander delivers, and Destin with a good cut fouls the ball into the screen. The count is level at 1 ball, 1 strike. 6-4 Southern Maryland in the lead. Lancaster trying to fight back in the bottom of the 5th inning. A huge strikeout of Andrew Applin, who was looking to move the runners along with a bunt after Gindel walked and Terdoslavich singled. Choplik, the product of the University of Oklahoma, working at a ball and a strike to Hood. Fastball swing and a miss. The pitch was down and away, had good velocity on it. He has Hood at a ball and 2 strikes. Chaplik then signed with the Texas Rangers and was in their organization through last year, 5-1 at Double-A Frisco, but his ERA was high at 6.08 and got in only 29 games. He has Hood at a ball and 2 strikes. Casey Hobson waiting on deck. Southern Maryland certainly smelling the end of this threat after the first 2 men reached base here. Here's the 1-2. Chaplik again with a fastball away. This time Hood stays away from it. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Destin. Lancaster in need of a big hit in the bottom of the 5th inning. Two, awaiting Hood. Chaplik to the plate. It's low and bouncing free from Valerio, but you got enough of it to keep Gindel and Terdoslavich in place. Hood batting 3-2. I would not construe this as time to start the runners, but we'll see. Payoff pitch coming to Hood. Chaplik again to the set. The runners will stay. 3-2, swing and a miss. 95-mile-an-hour fastball down and in. Back-to-back hitters have struck out here with the tying runs on base. Casey Hobson coming in. Hobson has flied out and struck out in the ball game. This inning is left in the hands of Hobson. And KC takes a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Chaplik may be the hardest throwing left-hander in the Atlantic League. And I hadn't really gotten an idea of how hard he does throw until on the radar display. Hobson with a foul ball back to KC. Parker Morin waits on deck. Swung 3 spot. The Barnstormers tried to match it in the bottom of this inning, but Chaplik has Lancaster down to a final strike here. And the runners are still at first and second. Hobson awaits the 0-2, drills it foul into the seats over on the third base side. Still a 2-strike count. Chaplik has covered every number from 90 to 95 with his fastballs since coming into the game. We'll see if he snaps off a breaking ball at some point to KC. 0-2, Chaplik ready to go, and it's another fastball at 95. This one is outside. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Lancaster still breathing here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and a ball game that has become very slowly paced. One, 2 to Hobson. Runners out to their leads. The pitch, Casey, a line drive base hit in the left field. Around behind it is Benson. Gindel is being sent home. He will score, and it's 6-5. Hobson with a great piece of hitting. Singling home Gindel, making it 6-5. Terdoslavich stays at second, and Parker Morin comes to the plate. While you'd love to at least tie the ball game in this 5th inning, you're one more pitch away, 1 strike away from the Blue Crabs wiggling out of it altogether, which would have given them a psychological lift. Now the Barnstormers back within 1. Morin steps in. Parker 0 for 2. Retired on a gorgeous play by pitcher Tommy Thorpe against his bunt leading off last inning. Runners lead from first and second. And to Morin, swing and a miss. is down a strike against Chaplik. A fifth run charged to Thorpe's record here tonight. Terdoslavich is also his man. Hobson, the lead run over at first belongs to Chaplik. Barnstormers have seen nothing but left-handers from Southern Maryland so far. Good stop by Valerio on a fastball well outside and low. The catcher had the lunge for it. Now 1-1 to Morin. This half inning alone, or this full inning, it's just the whole entirety of the fifth inning. It's taken up better than half an hour. Morin awaits the 1-1. He starts to turn on a pitch close to him. The appeal is denied by the third base umpire Martinez. Parker Morin ahead in the count at 2-1. Terdoslavich the runner at second, and Hobson aboard at first. Melvin Mercedes waits on deck. Lancaster with 4 switch hitters in the lineup tonight. Here's the 2-1. It is low. More in the Lancaster lineup this evening. Morin ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Trying to find a pitch on which he can tie this ball game. Maybe even better. 3-1. Here's the delivery. He'll draw a walk instead. Mercedes will bat with the bases loaded. Barnstormers everywhere. Melvin Mercedes has flied to center and knocked a single into right field tonight. 1 out of 2 for Melvin. He was 0 for 1 with the bases loaded before the injury. He gets a chance here, and this could be a pivotal at bat in tonight's game. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the fifth inning. Lancaster has gotten 1 run back at 6-5 Southern Maryland. Mercedes looking to change that. Terdoslavich to third, Hobson to second, Morin on with the walk. Mercedes takes the ball down low. It is 1-0. Melvin 8 hits in 31 at-bats overall on the year, a year that has a big 2.5-month hole in the middle of it. Chaplik with the 1-0 is high and outside, and Melvin starts to find himself in a pretty good position here. Ahead in the count with the bases loaded, Chaplik can ill afford a base on balls. Runners lead from everywhere. The last pitch apparently, or one of them, called a strike. Now a foul ball back, and it's 1-2. The 1-0 pitch called a strike on quite a bit of a delay. Mercedes trailing 1-2. Chaplik will deliver, and that is low. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. Two walks, 2 singles, and 2 strikeouts in the inning. The RBI for Hobson, by the way, is 50th of the season. 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Chaplik ready to go, way outside and high. 3-2. Nowhere to go. Another pitch out of the zone, and Terdoslavich comes across with the tying run. An out, and Chaplik preserves the 6-5 lead. A base hit, and the Barnstormers can take the lead. 3-2, runners take off. The pitch is skied to right toward the line. Racing over is Silva into foul territory, and a lot of activity for a foul ball that is left untouched. We will stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Melvin Mercedes. Could you imagine if this were the bottom of the 9th inning instead of the bottom of the 5th? Three balls, 2 strikes. The infielders are back here. Runners take off again. The pitch is strike 3 called at the knees. Mercedes goes down looking, and that will end it. Lancaster gets 1 run back on 2 hits, no errors. The Barnstormers leave 3 at the end of 5, 6-5 in favor of Southern Maryland.
Hello, Barnstormers fans. I hope you're enjoying today's game.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
The Barnstormers will stick with Kyle Davies as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Southern Maryland owns a 6-5 lead in what has been a wild and very lengthy contest here tonight. Thomas 0 for 2 on fly balls. Davies into his windup, and he snaps off a pitch that's up for a ball, 1-0. Davies' pitch count well into the 90s. Well, the Barnstormers have seen nearly 100 pitches through 5 innings. Ground ball on the left side, and it's through for a base hit. Thomas is on with hit number 8 for Southern Maryland. Josh McAdams, the first baseman, will come to the plate. McAdams is grounded out and struck out. The Barnstormers with left-hander Brian Harper warming up in the bullpen. Did not necessarily expect the slugfest here tonight, but that is what this has turned into. Southern Maryland leading by 1. Thomas has 9 stolen bases. You have to keep an eye on him. McAdams the batter. Morin sets the target. Davies to the plate. There's a bunt foul up the first base side. It is 0-1. Adam Choplik came on, gave up a base hit and a walk, and struck out 2. Got out of that inning with a lead. McAdams squares again, takes a ball low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. They have really extended Davies here tonight, close to 100 pitches. Lancaster has seen 102. One ball, 1 strike. McAdams again squares around. Ball 2, no, strike 2. Taken by McAdams. And again with our friend Stu. The automated ball and strike system, or as I've dubbed Stu, strike tracking unit. Occasionally, if something is on the edges, it has to, I guess, do some extra calculations. There's a little bit of a delay, and it's caught me 3 or 4 times tonight. 1-2, breaking ball, fouled off. McAdams with a full swing. The count continues at 1-2. Sanford, Martinez, and Gindel scheduled for the Barnstormers in the bottom of the inning. 6-5 here. Leadoff man on to McAdams. It is upstairs, ball 2 and 2 strikes. New Britain leads York 8-4 through 6.5 innings. That's good news for these two ball clubs. High Point has caught Sugar Land 4 all, bottom of the 8th. Also good news for these two ball clubs. Long Island and Somerset still scoreless in the 8th. Runner goes, and the ball is belted down the left field line. Way back it goes, and the walls will not contain it. A 2-run home run for Josh McAdams, and Southern Maryland now leads 8-5. And we'll see if Ross will. 6th inning. McAdams with the first home run for Southern Maryland tonight. Ruby Silva to the plate. Silva has struck out and doubled. He has a run scored. Now the Barnstormers need to make up a 3-run deficit. Davies to Silva, hammered to the gap in left center field. Sprinting back is Sanford. He won't get there. It is, in fact, Applin cutting the ball off, throwing it into second. Silva with a double. And 3 hard-hit balls here in the 6th inning. Runner in scoring position, and Kent Blackstone will come to the plate. Blackstone 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And finally, here comes Ross Peoples. This is not the night that Kyle Davies wanted, because this is his last. And Davies certainly has a lot of pride in his craft, and I'm sure not quite the way he wanted to go out. Ross left them in, hoping for a chance to turn his night around and come back and win this ball game. But he gives up 3 straight hits starting off the 6th inning. He leaves with Silva at second, the ball club trailing 8-5. And congratulations to Kyle Davies on a wonderful career. And he is on his way to retirement and bigger and better things. Father of 4, man who has made a pretty good living. The game tonight, he gets a nice round of applause from the folks, standing ovation here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and congratulations again to Kyle Davies. He had a decent season going, but he decided a couple of weeks ago to call it quits before the Barnstormers' long trip to Sugar Land, Texas. He'll be heading home to McDonough, Georgia, following the ball game here tonight. So the pitching change is made. The Barnstormers go to Brian Harper, who needs to settle things down here in the 6th inning. 8-5, Southern Maryland with the change in the works. Let's pause for this.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be...
Well, Brian Harper is ready to go, facing Kent Blackstone with Ruby Silva at second base. Nobody out here in the 6th inning. 8-5 Southern Maryland. The Blue Crabs with 7 runs on the board over the last 3 innings. Silva just picked up the Blue Crabs' 4th double in that stretch to go along with the 2-run home run by Josh McAdams earlier this inning. Blackstone at the plate. Harper, the 6'5.5" left-hander, delivers, and it is low for a ball, 1-0. Davies giving up 10 hits. He walked 2, struck out 2 in 5 innings plus here tonight. 8 runs all earned with Silva his responsibility. Concedes the baseball to Harper here in the 6th inning. 0-3 in 16 appearances. Harper's ERA 3.45. The pitch off the outside corner. It is 2-0 on Blackstone. Edwin Garcia waits on deck. Hobson well up on the grass over at first. Terdoslavich up at third. Blackstone squares around, bunts it foul. 2 balls and a strike. Harper pitched a third of an inning on Tuesday against Somerset. He walked Ramon Flores, got Alfredo Rodriguez on a liner to left field. Came out there, popped up foul on another bunt try by Blackstone. It's 2-2. He gave up a run last Friday night at Long Island as he's trying to come back from a leg injury that had him on the shelf for better than a month. 2-2 to Blackstone. The left-hander ready to go. Blackstone has to bail on a high inside breaking ball. 3-2. And still a chance for him to bunt under these new rules. This scored 5 or more runs now in 5 consecutive ball games. 2-0, Garcia squares, fouls it back to the screen. The Blue Crabs have not been able to successfully bunt on Harper, much as they've tried. They haven't gotten one down. But he eventually walked Blackstone, and now he has 2 balls and a strike on Garcia. Runners take off, the pitch is inside, and Morin has no shot. Silva steals third, and Blackstone goes to second. Second steal for Blackstone in the game. Still nobody out here in the 6th inning. It's 3 balls and a strike to Edwin Garcia. Harper has to face Garcia and Benson before Ross can lift him from the game. The infield plays in. 3 balls, 1 strike. The count on Garcia, who takes a rip and fouls it off. 3-2.
That gutter ball presented by Ralph Wilhelm stopping call. Ralph Wilhelm today for all your gutter penalty protection needs.
A huge offensive surge by Southern Maryland over these last 3 innings. To Garcia, here's the payoff. He'll get a walk. And the bases are loaded for Benson, who's perfect tonight. Silva to third, Blackstone to second, Garcia to first, Benson to the plate. He has scored 2, driven in 1, officially 2 for 2, a walk, a double. Bases loaded with nobody out, and the Barnstormers are going to keep the infielders up. Wow. This is a surprising stratagem. First pitch low and bounces away from Morin, but again up the third baseline. And there was nowhere for Silva to go. Ball 1, no strikes. The count to Benson. Dean Green, the lefty batting DH, waits on deck, with Chassin pretty much ready in the Lancaster bullpen. Here's a 1-0, dribbled foul by the right-handed batting left fielder. We go to a ball and a strike. York starts to catch up on New Britain. It's 8-6 Bees now. In the bottom of the seventh, 2 runs home for the Revs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Benson. Breaking ball hangs up high and outside, 2-1. Bottom of the 8th, Long Island and Somerset remain scoreless, and they've gone to the bottom of the 9th. Down at BB&T Point, the Sugarland Skeeters and High Point Rockers knotted at 4. Joe Benson bats at 2-1. Harper to the plate, lined into right field. That is going to get all the way to the wall and may clear them. Silva scores, Blackstone scores, and Garcia is being waved. The throw home for Mercedes is good. The tag try is late by Morin. A 3-run double for Joe Benson, and it's now 11-5 here in the top half of the 6th inning as Southern Maryland is struck for 5. Ross Peoples coming out to argue with plate umpire Frank Iorilli at the call at home plate on Garcia. It was a good relay throw from Hood to Mercedes and on to Morin. 3-run double into right center field for Benson, who's having himself a night. Silva, Blackstone, and Garcia all score. Kyle Davies, he allowed 9 here tonight. That is going to be it for Harper as he is unable to procure an out here in the 6th inning. The Barnstormers go back to the bullpen, and Alejandro Chacin will take a break and pause for this.
The tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Alejandro Chacin will take over. Still nobody out in the 6th inning. A 5-run frame for Southern Maryland. You may remember earlier this year, Southern Maryland couldn't hit worth a lick. And that was the case pretty much all of last year as well. But now, with the addition of Dean Green, everybody seems to have come to life in this entire offense. And if you take this back to last inning, 10 of the last 11 Blue Crabs batters have reached base. The exception was Aplin's wonderful running catch against Valerio to close out the 5th. The batter is Green. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Goes after the first pitch offered up by Chacin and fouls it off. It is 0-1. Benson, the lone runner out there. He's at second, still nobody out. 5 home in the inning. A 2-run homer for McAdams, and now the 3-run double by Benson. Blistered into the alley in right center field. Green singled home a run last inning. The base hit out to right. That made it 5-4. Ball 1, strike 1. The count on Green. Corey Vaughn on deck, and then Valerio. Green, the 7th man to bat for Southern Maryland here in the top half of the 6th inning. Chacin ready to go. The pitch is there. A strike taken to make it 1-2. Alejandro is 1-2 with a 5.66 ERA and 23 appearances on the year. He leads the team with 4 holds, 33 hits in 35 innings. He's walked 23 and struck out 37. To Green 1-2. That is strike 3 on the inside corner. Chassin comes in and gets a strikeout. Corey Vaughn to the plate. He doubled in a run back in the 4th inning. 2 out of 3 here tonight. The Barnstormers still have 4 chances left, and the air currents somehow seem favorable even without the wind blowing tonight. There's been a lot of offense in this game. The ball is traveling. 1 out with the runner at second, and to Vaughn. There's the big slider back to the inside corner. Alejandro gets ahead at 0-1. Another run on the board for York. It's 8-7 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Off-speed pitch, stays inside. Vaughn refused to go after it. And it is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Corey Vaughn. 6'3", 235. He's a very good-sized fella. Ground ball to third. Picking it up behind the bag, throwing on the run, Terdoslavich, and the in-between hop is handled by Hobson on the back end. Nice play defensively. That is the 2nd out, and Charlie Valerio will come in. He's 0 for 3 with a run batted in. Benson remaining at second base through these 2 outs picked up by Chassin. Swing and a miss over top of the slider. It's 0-1. Chassin has his off-speed stuff working tonight, and when he does, he is particularly difficult to handle. Fastball just a little inside. Valerio bats at 1-1. Former Cleveland Indians farmhand is Charlie Valerio from the Dominican Republic. High pop fly out to right. Mercedes goes back. Hood comes in, and Melvin takes it. Chassin gets the job done, but before he enters, 5 runs scored with no errors, a runner left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the score: the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 11 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 5. Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Well, it's a long way back for the Barnstormers tonight as they trail by 6 runs. Again, it's been overall a positive night for the Barnstormers at the plate, and they look to continue that and make some noise in this game. They now face one of their own. Kevin Munson takes over in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Munson has found his way to Southern Maryland by way of Sugar Land this year. He deals a first pitch strike to Darian Sanford. It is 0-1. Munson 1-2 with a 3.79 ERA, 15 hits in 19 innings, 8 earned runs. He's walked 8, struck out 13. He misses here. And to Sanford. Ball 1, strike 1. Darian 1 for 2 with a run scored. He has his 41st stolen base of the season. Munson comes back. He fires low for ball 2. Michael Martinez and Caleb Gindel following in the bottom of the 6th inning as the Barnstormers look to embark on a comeback. Adam Choplik went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a hit, walked 1, struck out 2, swing and a miss. Sanford bats at 2 balls and 2 strikes, but I don't blame Stan for pulling Choplik because he's going to want him, his only left-handed reliever, for later in the series, and with the 6-run lead, it made sense to start bringing the right-handers in and save Choplik for another day. 2-2 down the right field line, but foul off the bat of Sanford. He will continue with the 2-2 count. Barnstormers offensively, 5 runs, 9 hits. The club has drawn 3 walks, a stolen base, a home run. Sanford shows bunt and gets ball 3 off the outside corner. We are full at 3-2. We'll see right-handers from here on out from the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Time called at the plate. Sanford backs away and adjusts a batting glove. Facing the former AAA right-hander Kevin Munson from the Arizona and Seattle systems. Here's the payoff pitch. It's high and outside. He has walked Sanford. And that gives the Barnstormers an opening to at least get something back in the bottom of the 6th inning. However, with the Barnstormers down by 6 runs, it does take Sanford's running game largely away. Michael Martinez to the plate, batting just as Sanford did. Left-handed for the first time tonight. Martinez is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Southern Maryland, by the way, did add a player today, and it's somebody that people who follow the Barnstormers and baseball in this area in the Atlantic League know pretty well, and it's Travis Witherspoon has resurfaced. Good to catch up with Travis earlier today. Sanford takes off anyway. Martinez with a swing and a foul ball back. It is 0-1. Darian has not been thrown out since the new rules have been implemented. He is 12 for 12, stealing bases. 41 out of 47 on the year. He grabs another one. He will officially be 6th all by himself in Atlantic League history. Billy Hall, Somerset Patriot, long before the Barnstormers' arrival in this league, is the all-time leader. He's in the 290s. Sanford has 168. Martinez batting 0-1. Sanford starts, doesn't go, and the pitch is registered as high. Ball 1, strike 1. Last night, we are already past that and only in the bottom of the 6th inning. Darian Sanford, a base runner. He doesn't go. Martinez takes ball too high. Valerio tried to frame it. Guess what is not susceptible to catchers framing pitches? Our new friend Stu. The automated balls and strike system. It's already made up its mind. You can't decoy it from back there. But catchers are just in that habit. 2 balls and a strike to Martinez. Sanford's going to go. The pitch is rolled toward the middle. It'll get through to the shortstop. Garcia will fire on. Martinez retired. Sanford ahead to second. 1 out of the inning. Caleb Gindel will come to the plate. Gindel has scored a run and driven in a run again tonight without a base hit. And he's done it for the 2nd consecutive night. Caleb does not have a base hit since a 1-out single on Tuesday. But that does not mean he has not been a factor in the offense. Since then, he has scored 4 and driven in 2. But it's been on walks and sac flies. and in one case, a force play grounder. Sanford leads off second. Munson comes to the set and, without actually making a throw, chases Darien back to second base. Southern Maryland up by 6 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. To Gindel, inside and low, a ball, 1-0. A remarkable 12 walks in 6 games for Gindel. Turdoslavich, who has his nightly 2 hits, waits on deck. Sanford takes off for third. The pitch is inside, and there is no chance at all to get Darien Sanford. That's his 42nd, and he is by himself in 6th place on the all-time Atlantic League list. He has a little ways to go before he gets to number 5. Gindel bats 2-0 and slaps a foul up into the third base. I think it may have gotten onto the sweet level, out of my view. 2 balls and a strike to Caleb Gindel. Again, he has been remarkable driving in these runs this year, 17 out of 20. Sanford leads off third to Gindel, 2-1. Caleb fouls another one away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with Turdoslavich due next. Of course, with the 6-run lead, Stan Clyburn keeps his infielders back. Here's the 2-2 to Gindel. Ground ball, base hit into right field. He's done it again, and we have ourselves an 11-6 ball game. Caleb Gindel drives in his 57th run of the year. He is one of the best there is hitting with runners in scoring position. He does what it takes. Now here is Turdoslavich with the Barnstormers a run closer. Joe grounded into a double play his first time up tonight. He then banged a couple of base hits into left field. 2 out of 3, 18 for 33 in this 9-game hitting streak. He tried to unload there, but fouled it back. It is no balls and a strike. Sanford's speed helps to buy the Barnstormers another run. Turdoslavich drives a fly ball to center. This is routine for Vaughn. Gindel went about 40 feet towards second base and turned and headed back. 2 outs in the inning. Andrew Applin to the plate. Applin 2 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. Next on the list for Sanford to get the 5th, he needs 22 more stolen bases this year, which is certainly attainable. And he would tie Angel Espada, a longtime Bridgeport Bluefish player, for 5th. Inside to Applin for a ball, 1-0. Chris Walker and Dwight Maness, who both played for Camden, are 4th and 3rd respectively. Darien, if he gets on base a lot, could catch them. But it's going to be tough to do. I doubt he can get the second. Rolando Avila, again, played many years for Bridgeport, is second at 231. 2-0. Ball 3 is low and skips away from Valerio, but Gindel isn't going to try. Applin working on a walk here. Destin Hood waits on deck. Lancaster has gotten a run back, 11-6 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Gindel leads off first, 3-0 on Applin. He gets the walk. The second given up by Munson here in the 6th inning. Destin Hood with an opportunity to get the Barnstormers a good deal closer. Put a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning, flying to right in the 3rd, and then struck out against Choplik back in the 5th inning. And 2 out here in the bottom half of the 6th. Two walks and a single for the Barnstormers in the inning. The pitch to Hood. Registered as a strike. It is 0-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and we have been playing baseball for over 2 hours and 20 minutes tonight with a lot of offense. 0-1 pitch. Doesn't slide back to the inside corner. Munson will face Hood at 1-1. Gindel's been on base 3 times for the Barnstormers. So has Applin. They're out there now. 1-1 on Hood. Fouled back to the screen. Munson works ahead at a ball and 2 strikes. And on the other side, Benson is Joe Benson's been on base all 4 times. Time called at the plate, and that one was requested by the catcher, Valerio. Destin Hood up there 1-2. Munson from the stretch brings it home, and it's high. It's been a long half inning for Munson. Over the last 2 innings, the 5th and the 6th, 17 batters for the Blue Crabs. And the Barnstormers are on their 13th. Swing and a miss. Hood goes down. It'll end the inning. Lancaster gets 1 run back on 1 hit, no errors. The Barnstormers strand 2. And at the end of 6 tonight, Southern Maryland 11 and the Barnstormers 6.
Whoever sings the loudest.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel, your go-to motor coach bus company. Supplying your motor coach needs from day trips to multi-day excursions. Trips to New York, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., San Francisco, and all points in between. We can provide you with an itinerary or fulfill all your trips' transportation needs. Providing casino trips monthly. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call at 717-269-3124.
There's a new force in town. Know any young baseball fans? Make sure they're a part of the Storm Force Kids Club presented by Commonwealth Charter Academy. For only $25, kids receive 12 field box tickets. To go with the tickets, the Storm Force members will get a backpack, a t-shirt, an invitation to Silo's birthday party, and a chance to meet Barnstormer players over a bowl of ice cream, plus a lot more. What's better than that? Sign up at LancasterBarnstormers.com or stop by the stadium to get those kids involved.
Six innings in the books here tonight, and it's 11 runs on 11 hits for Southern Maryland. No errors, 4 runners left on base. The Barnstormers 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and Lancaster has stranded 8. Into the 7th inning, and Tony Thomas leading off. Thomas picked up his first hit of the ball game last inning, a leadoff single into left field. Facing Alejandro Chassin, who set the side down in order after the 5 runs had already crossed the plate last frame. He came in and got 3 in a row. Check swing on the first pitch, taken for a ball outside. 1-0 the count on Thomas. Hobson, Morin, and Mercedes due in the bottom of the 7th inning, and it looks like they'll still be seeing Kevin Munson. Chassin comes back, swings it outside and low for ball 2, and a 2-0 count. The Barnstormers have gotten tremendous pitching the last 2 ball games, especially the starts by Albaladejo and Bauman. Tonight, that pitching has not been nearly as strong, especially, boy, the middle innings. 10 runs for Southern Maryland. That is blistered and just foul down the third base side by Thomas, 1-2. He made Jerry Martinez do quite the dance. Stan Clyburn is out to argue, but only briefly. Jerry Martinez found himself staring down a gunslinger in the Old West. Dance partner, that ball was laced right at him. Thomas awaiting the 2-1. Chassin to the plate, and he is outside with it. 3 balls and a strike. Barnstormers pitchers tonight have walked 4 to go along with the 11 hits. 5 walks issued by Southern Maryland to go along with 10 hits. So on that level, we're even. 3-1 is strike 2 at the knees, and a full count to Tony Thomas. We're not even, though, on the extra base hits. In the second inning on consecutive at-bats, but for Southern Maryland, 5 doubles and a home run. Their doubles have been very productive. They came in that 3-inning stretch. So did the home run from innings 4 through 6. Southern Maryland just unloaded on Lancaster pitching. Josh McAdams with the home run his last time up, driven down the left field line. He is 1 out of 3. Swings and misses against Alejandro here. No balls and a strike. The Barnstormers still with 3 chances left at all those right-handers for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, with a almost entirely left-handed batting lineup. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 and a short porch and right. Anything could happen, but it's still a 5-run deficit, and you want to make it up before you get to Matt Latos, the closer, because his numbers are stellar. Ground ball rolled to the left side. With it is Terdoslavich, and he will cut down McAdams. 2 away for Ruby Silva, who has 2 of the doubles. He went to left center field twice against Kyle Davies and scored 2 runs ultimately.
Pediatric Development Center. Raffle winner tonight is Koss, K-O-S-S, Koss. You are the
2 outs, nobody on. Chassin having a brilliant outing. My mother always used to have that expression, something about closing the barn door after the horse had already gone. Up and away to Silva. Ball 1, no strikes. Fly ball by Ruby Agendel for Darian Sanford to his right to make the catch. Chassin set down 6 in a row. The Barnstormers have enough firepower to come back. We're at the 7th inning stretch. Southern Maryland leading 11-6.
You know the words, Maestro, the music.
This is Hall of Famer Carlton Fisk. Make your plans today to visit Cooperstown and the Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum.
There it goes, a long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
Reconnect with your memories of the game and make new memories with your family. Check out baseballhall.org today for more information.
Carlton Fisk had a lot of little boy in him right there, Joe.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, preserving history, honoring excellence, and connecting generations.
Just like a baseball team needs pitchers, sluggers, relievers, and coaches to win games, a fire company needs firefighters, drivers, fire police officers, and administrative help to be successful. Fire companies need to function as a well-oiled team too, through training, preparing, and working together like a team. When an emergency occurs, your local fire company responds to help save lives and property. Maybe it's time you stepped up to bat and offered to hit a home run for your community. Go to becomeafirefighter.org and sign up. You won't regret taking a swing for the fences. Join the fire service team.
York scored 7 in the bottom of the 7th, and the Revs now lead 11-8 at home against New Britain. High Point walked off on Sugar Land 5-4, and the game between Long Island and Somerset has gone to extra innings. They're scoreless. It was not exactly what Brett Jody and John Hunton needed right now, an extra inning game, considering the dearth of pitchers for the Somerset Patriots. Casey Hobson leads off the bottom of the 7th against Kevin Munson. Munson gave up a hit and a run, walked 2 last inning. The pitch to Hobson, fouled into the net. No balls and a strike. Casey 1 for 3 with a run batted in the game. 57 runs batted in for Gindel. Terdoslavich 54. Hobson now 50 on this ball club. Taken for a strike, and Hobson bats 0-2. Barnstormers with 3 of the leaders in the league in runs batted in, 3 out of the top 7. Fastball is up. Hobson bats 1-2. Parker Morin waits on deck, and then Melvin Mercedes. Everybody in the lineup tonight for the Barnstormers has reached base at least once. You cannot argue about the offensive performance. Hard hit ground ball, base hit past the diving McAdams. And Hobson is on with a base hit to lead off the 7th inning. Barnstormer hit number 11. Parker Moore into the plate. Parker is 0 for 2 with a walk. It's been a high-scoring night here in the Susquehanna Valley. I don't know, I haven't looked it up if they're playing in Harrisburg, but an 11-8 game in York, 11-6 here, and the Barnstormers are trying to build something else. Meanwhile, we've got an equipment delay. Josh McAdams comes off the field after the diving try. Leadoff man on for the Barnstormers here in the 7th inning. And we're waiting for Josh McAdams to reappear, perhaps with a new glove. You need 9 out on the field to play a professional game. Right now, Southern Maryland is operating with 8 until Josh McAdams comes back out. Seems okay. Might have actually been the belt went on him after that diving try. The Barnstormers with their 11th hit. They need to put together a 3 or 4 run inning here following that leadoff single. Again, you don't want to have to stare down Latos in the 9th inning when you're trailing. Now to Morin, swing and a miss. The lefty batting catcher 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. He was also thrown out on a really pretty play by the starter Tommy Thorpe on a bunt try back in the 4th inning. It was laid down nicely by Parker. The pitch, he checks a swing. The offering is low. 1 ball and 1 strike here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Another right-hander warming up in the bullpen for the Blue Crabs down on the left field side. To Morin upstairs and ball 2 with Melvin Mercedes on deck and then Darian Sanford. Two and 1. Morin gets ball 3 up and away. Munson has struggled. 4 of the 7 Lancaster batters to face him have reached base, but we've had men on all night long. Fouled away by Morin, stripping off the mask Valerio, but he does not have a chance. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The only pitcher that has ultimately succeeded tonight in doing what he set out to do has been Alejandro Chacin, retiring all 6 men that he's faced. Adam Choplik was able to get out of an inning, but he did allow 1 inherited run to score. and stare down a bases-loaded 3-2 two-out jam. To Morin 3-2, and that's fouled away. We continue at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Parker Morin. Casey Hobson with his 20th two-hit game of the season stands at first base with nobody out. Here's the payoff once again, and again fouled this one right back into the net. We stay at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Munson last appeared against the High Point Rockers on Tuesday. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 1. Again, 3-2. Morin elevates it to left. Benson has it right at him, and he makes the catch for the first out. That's a big out for Kevin Munson here in the 7th inning. He puts Morin on base, and all of a sudden, he's got a fight on his hands. Melvin Mercedes to the plate. Melvin 1 for 3. He went down looking at a called 3rd strike back in the 5th inning. Long Island got its run home in the top of the 10th inning. So it's 1-0 Ducks. Somerset gets its turn with the runner at second. To Mercedes, inside and low. Ball 1, no strikes. Darian Sanford is on deck. The Barnstormers still need to make up a 5-run deficit. One ball and nothing. Mercedes swings, hits a chopper. That's going to be a difficult play. Charging it is Blackstone. He flips to first, not in time. The ball dropped anyway by McAdams. An infield base hit for Melvin Mercedes. Munson sprang off the mound, couldn't get to it, and Blackstone had to race in and try to make a shovel toss to McAdams. Mercedes had it beaten out. The throw was dropped. Here comes Stan Kleiber, and that will be it for Kevin Munson, who has somewhat of a quirky outing tonight. And he'll come out after an inning and a third. Clyburn will go back to his bullpen with runners at first and second, 1 out here in the 7th inning. With the pitching change in the works, we'll take a break and pause for this.
Localflavor.com, local flavor, localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
James Dykstra is the new pitcher for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. Kevin Munson out after an inning and a third. He gave up 3 hits and 2 walks, struck out 1. But to this point, he has only been nicked for 1 tally. 2 runners on base for the Barnstormers with 1 out here in the 7th inning. Dykstra takes over. James Dykstra, 3-1 overall in the Atlantic League this year with a 3.34 earned run average. This will be his 34th game. He has 9 holds, 3 saves. 36 hits allowed in 35 innings, 15 walks, and Dykstra has struck out 26. He also threw 2 innings against High Point back on Tuesday. Darian Sanford, the batter, with runners at first and second, 1 out. Then it would be Michael Martinez. Sanford could try to drop a bunt down here and beat that out. Thomas will attempt to deny it. He is in over at third base. You look for Darian to continue to set the table here. Not the guy you anticipate getting the big blow right now. First and second with 1 out. Dykstra to the set. He'll go to work. Sanford takes a ball just above the zone. It is 1-0. The Barnstormers have out-hit Southern Maryland in this game, 12-11. But again, Southern Maryland with a huge power display in the middle innings, scored 10 times over 3 frames. 1-0 to Sanford, a swing and a foul ball back against a powerful fastball from James Dykstra. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hobson at second, Mercedes behind him at first. The set by Dykstra. And he works to Sanford, a ball and a strike. Fastball down and in. Now 2-1. James Dykstra out of San Diego. Listed 6'4", 195. A little heavier than that, I believe, these days. Signed by the White Sox back in 2013 out of Cal State San Marcos. 2-1 is ball 3. Sanford will gladly take a walk. Get the top of the order up. Dykstra got to Double-A with the White Sox, Triple-A with the Rangers back in 17. 3 balls, 1 strike. With 2 runners already on, Sanford goes for it and fouls it off. 3-2.
Gunner ball presented by Rafa Wilhelm. Stopping call. Rafa Wilhelm today for all your gunner and leak protection needs.
There's Sioux City in the American Association last year as a starter was Dykstra. A full count to Darian Sanford. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 on, 1 out. The right-hander sets, brings it home. Sanford lifts it to left, easy for Benson. The left fielder with the catch, 2 outs in the inning, and it's up to Michael Martinez. He is 1 for 4. The Barnstormers have left a ton of runners on base over the last 4 innings. They have stranded 8. And unless Martinez does something here, it'll be 10 runners in 5 innings. Still, it's difficult to fault the offense for the deficit tonight. The Barnstormers have swung the bats pretty well and had pretty good eyes at the plate, drawing 5 walks. 1 out of 4 for Martinez. He needs to come through. Hobson and Mercedes out to their leads. Dykstra to the plate, and it's fouled away. James Dykstra throwing nothing but fastballs to Darian Sanford, and he starts off Martinez with 1. Somewhere from 93 to 90. 1 strike to Martinez. Lancaster with 2 base hits in the inning, around 2 fly balls to left. Michael Martinez batting 0-1. The set, the pitch, fouled back, and that was clocked at 96. Dykstra's velocity is escalating. He has Martinez trailing in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Lancaster looking for a big base hit right now. 3 out of 11 tonight with runners in scoring position for this Barnstormers club. The 0-2, low and stopped by Valerio. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Had an exceptional night in that category during the middle innings. Martinez alive at 1-2, trying to get at least 1 home here, and get the Barnstormers a bit closer. The set, 1-2 pitch, upstairs, 2-2. Gindel waits on deck. Barnstormers have faced over 150 pitches in this game in 7 innings. 2-2 to Martinez. Dykstra ready to go, and that is cut on and missed. He finally went away from the fastball, and he wins the battle against Martinez to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Barnstormers leave 2 more. We'll head to the 8th inning. Southern Maryland continues to lead 11-6.
And I'm the kid reporter, and I'm reporting from the Barnstormers team.
When in need of new appliances for your home, come to Gockenauer's in East Petersburg and see what buying from a hometown dealer is all about. We offer the best brands at the best prices, plus deliver, install, and service everything we sell. Don't get burned by another chain store taking your money and then going out of business. Come to the place who has been helping Leicester County for 70 years. Your hometown dealer, making the best brands better. Gockenauer's in East Petersburg.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F-Sport crossovers, crafted for the new frontier. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
Garrett Granitz takes over in the 8th inning. He'll face the top of the order. Kent Blackstone leading off. Blackstone 0 for 2 with 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, and 2 runs scored here tonight. I correct myself, the Barnstormers 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position. I forgot the Hood home run early on. First pitch, a called strike on Blackstone. It's 0-1. I was interested to see how the automated balls and strikes would deal with the submarine throwing Granitz, and it doesn't have an issue. A called second strike. It is 0-2. Edwin Garcia and Joe Benson will follow. Alejandro Chacin, 2 perfect innings of relief, 1 strikeout. The 0-2 is past everything. Blackstone decides not to take off. Granitz had that one, I'm not sure, slip or stick in the hand, but he ended up shoveling it over Blackstone's head. Garrett Granite's the one guy who could deliver an uppercut to the jaw with a baseball. It's swing up from down there. Slides it just off the outside corner. It's 2-2. Southern Maryland with the 11-6 lead, starting off the 8th inning in a ball game that has lasted almost 3 hours already. Swing and a miss. Blackstone is gone. 1 out. Here in the 8th, Garcia will step in. Edwin Garcia, 1 out of 3, has scored 2 and driven in 1. The difference, realistically, in this ball game, the double spree by Southern Maryland in the middle innings. 5 doubles in a span of 3 innings. Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1 on Garcia. Granitz with some heat on it for him, but he's down low. Ball 1 and strike 1. Swing and a miss here. He's got Garcia 1-2. Braves up 9-2 now at the end of 8 innings at Philadelphia. Dodgers lead the Nationals 4-1. Well, it could be a pretty significant night for Atlanta, picking up ground on their 2 closest chasers. Low and inside, 2-2. The Rockies have polished off the Cincinnati Reds 12-2. Tampa Bay a 3-1 lead over Toronto in the bottom of the 9th. Arizona 2-1 in the 9th inning. Swinging a foul tip. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Garcia. Mets beat the Pirates 6-3. Pete Alonso is 34th. Frazier, Ramos, and McNeil also homering for the Mets. Red Sox are up 10-3 over the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th. Mookie Betts with 3. He has 18 for the year. High fly ball down the left field line. Racing over is Applin. He cannot get there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garcia. And Benson on deck. What a night he has had. Guy who's never really seemed to do terribly much against the Barnstormers, but my goodness, has he had a night tonight. Foul on the ground past first base, down toward the steps that lead up into the seats. 2-2. Mookie Betts, 3 home runs tonight. Cubs up 2-0 at Milwaukee, bottom of the 6th inning. Twins 5-2 over the White Sox in the bottom of the 5th. Ball 3, angles outside on Garcia. It's 3-2. Cleveland 5-1 over Kansas City in the 6th. The Indians hot on the trail of the Minnesota Twins. Just a 2-game gap now between those 2 ball clubs. Payoff pitch. Garcia bounces it down the third baseline. Terdoslavich, a long throw from behind the bag. It is there, 2 outs. Benson will come to the plate. He is driven in 4. 3 out of 3. 2 doubles, a run scored, a walk. 2 runs scored. Batting with 2 outs, nobody on here. Lancaster's right-handed relievers have set down 8 Southern Maryland batters in a row. Granitz goes to work on Benson. He hits a ground ball to KC, who will take it himself, 3 unassisted. And a fairly uneventful inning for Garrett Granitz in the top of the 8th. Gendel, Terdoslavich, and Applin scheduled in the bottom of the 8th inning. And again, we've got all right-handed pitching available for Southern Maryland. The score 11-6 in favor of the Blue Crabs.
Like craft beers? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right. Celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries and product from a local winery. Food is sold off a pub-style menu. And new for 2019, there will be a trivia contest every Saturday evening beginning at 5, hosted by Cheaters Never Prosper. So get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with the Barnstormers game.
Tuxedo Tour and Travel. If you want to be there, we'll get you there. New York, Washington, D.C. We service all casinos, day trips, or multi-day excursions. Lebanon's #1 tour bus company, providing monthly casino trips. Sands of Bethlehem, Resort of Atlantic City, Mohegan Sun of Pocono Downs. Go to www.tuxedotour.com or give us a call, 717-269-3124.
The Somerset Patriots, badly in need of pitching, brought back Zek Zinicola today, and that gives them a 9th arm. They had gone to Tyler Cloyd in relief tonight in that 1-0 game against the extra inning game against the Long Island Ducks, and the Long Island won it 1-0. Here is Caleb Gindel against James Dykstra, and the first pitch fastball is a strike to the inside corner, 0-1. Gindel is 1 for 1 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Single, sac fly, and 2 walks for Caleb in this one. Dykstra retired the 2 batters he faced last inning. To Gindel, the fastball is away. It is 1-1. The only off-speed pitch thrown by Dykstra so far was to strike out Michael Martinez, closing out the bottom of the 7th inning. 2, 3, and 4 hitters up for the Barnstormers in the bottom half of the 8th. Dykstra goes to work on Gindel at a ball and a strike. Caleb drives a foul to the left. It's 1-2. Barnstormers still have to make up a 5-run deficit. They had closed within 6-5 in the 5th inning, had a chance to at least tie the game. Mercedes ended up going down on a called 3rd strike with the bases loaded to end it. Gindel bats 1-2 outside off the glove of Valerio. All the while he's keeping an eye on Gindel, who does not break for first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They're in the top of the 9th at York, and New Britain is caught up to 11-10. That game has been crazier than this one. Maybe the Barnstormers have a similar rally in the works. Caleb Gindel at 2 balls and 2 strikes against James Dykstra. Here is the 2-2. Gindel pulls a weak ground ball foul up the first baseline. He'll stay alive against the right-hander for another pitch. Caleb Gindel digging back in, 2-2. Dykstra ready to go. Caleb swings and misses. Same pitch that got Martinez. It acts like a splitter. Can't say for sure that it is. 1 out here in the 8th inning. Terdoslavich to the plate, 2 out of 4. Dykstra has retired 3 in a row, and it's not up to me, but if this score holds, I think Dykstra deserves the win for Southern Maryland. Breaking ball to Terdoslavich for a called strike. It is 0-1. Dykstra has been impressive here. He has 1 out in this 8th inning. Here's the pitch to Terdoslavich. The fastball is sent skyward up the first baseline. Coming in, the first baseman McAdams, and the ball will fall behind him in foul territory. At its apex, that ball might have actually disappeared. Terdoslavich alive at 0-2 as McAdams trying to help out Valerio Dykstra, attempting to direct traffic. That the ball ended up falling 3 or 4 feet in back of McAdams, who was most of the way to home plate. Terdoslavich has life here at 0-2. 12 Barnstormers base hits, another positive night offensively. And the 0-2, swing and a miss. That gets away from Valerio, who can't find it. And Terdoslavich will get the first base on the 3rd strike wild pitch. It gives the Barnstormers a base runner. 3 straight strikeouts for James Dykstra. Andrew Applin will come to the plate. Applin with 2 hits and a walk tonight. He has scored a run and he has driven 1 home. Lancaster led 4-1 in this contest at the end of 3 innings before Southern Maryland unloaded. 10 runs on 10 hits, 6 of those hits for extra bases through the middle innings of this ball game. 1 out. Terdoslavich out to a lead. Fastball inside and low on Applin. Ball 1 and no strikes. Now when you have gone down on the 3rd strike and takeoff, that's no longer a walk. It's, as it used to be, a strikeout and a wild pitch. It is not a Z. Applin stands in at 1-0. Destin Hood waits on deck. Dykstra comes to the set. He'll go to work on Applin, and this ball is hit in the air, right field. Ruby Silva has it gauged ahead of the warning track, and it will be the second out, leaving the inning to Destin Hood. Hood with a 2-run homer back in the second. Since then, he has fly to right, and he has struck out twice. He's left 6 runners out on the bases since the 2-run jack. Two outs, Terdoslavich the runner here in the 8th inning. Hood steps in with Hobson on deck. York held on for the 11-10 win over New Britain. First pitch delivered for a strike to Destin on the fastball. It is 0-1. Cody Mincy got the win for Long Island over Tyler Cloyd in the extra inning. Michael Tonkin the save. He's been just about unhittable. 0-1 to Hood. Smash, and it laced Terdoslavich. It'll be a hit for Hood. Terdoslavich is out 3 unassisted. He got nailed by the line drive. That was unfortunate, but Terdoslavich could do nothing about it. In the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We'll go to the 9th, 11-6.
Remove the wrong piece and the whole structure might fall apart. No, I'm not talking about the Barnstormers lineup. I'm talking about the life-size Jenga game that is part of the Subaru outdoor experience down the right field line at Clipper Magazine Stadium. There's ping pong, huge dice to roll, and more. Trivia contests take place before every Saturday home game. Group bookings are available, so enjoy the games while at the game and come to the Subaru outdoor experience just below the Broken Bat deck.
Picking one thing over the other can be hard.
Toast or avocado toast?
Ooh, 4 or 5-inch heels.
But with pick games from the Pennsylvania Lottery, drawn twice daily, picking's as easy as 2, 3, 4, or 5. Plus, add Wild Ball to any pick game for even more chances to win. It's simple.
Hey, what'll it be? Give me a pick 2, please. Oh, and add Wild Ball. I'm feeling pretty lucky.
Play pick games today from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Garrett Granite's facing the middle of the order for Southern Maryland here in the top of the 9th. The Blue Crabs enjoy an 11-6 lead. Dean Green will lead off. Green tonight is just 1 for 4 with an RBI. He really hasn't been the focus of the attack, but I think that he's the guy that over the last couple of weeks or so has focused the attack for Southern Maryland. Joe Benson with the biggest night. There have been other contributors. Now Green, it turns on a pitch and hits a terribly high fly ball at a terribly crooked angle down the right field line, dropping somewhere in amongst the Barnstormers player and staff vehicles. 0-1 pitch. Granite's with the hesitation. Comes from down under, and it's popped up over to third. Joe Terdoslavich on the dirt with the catch. That is the 10th consecutive out for Lancaster's bullpen. Kyle Davies, earlier in the night, had retired 8 in a row. But in between these two stretches, at one point, 10 out of 11 Blue Crabs had reached base. Here's Corey Vaughn. He is 2 out of 4, has one of those 5 doubles. Ball belted into left center field back in the 4th inning. The offering bends into the zone at just 60 miles per hour from Granites. That was the Frisbee slider. It's 0-1. Hobson, Morin, and Mercedes scheduled in the bottom of the ninth, and with the 5-run lead, it is not Latos throwing. The breaking ball again. This time it misses Devon. 1 ball, 1 strike. Haven't quite been able to pick up the number down there. Very often they might go to somebody like Ryan Chafee in this situation. Ball 2 is inside and low. It is 2-1. They also have Brandon Shimo now. Ground ball toward the middle. Mercedes with a dive, can't get there. Vaughn is on with a 1-out single. That breaks up the streak of outs for the relief corps. Charlie Valerio will come to the plate. Valerio is the only man in either lineup who has not successfully reached base at some point tonight. Now we're going to have a pinch runner for Vaughn. Here is Travis Witherspoon coming out. He'll make his Southern Maryland debut. So good to see Travis earlier today. He'll take over in center field for the bottom of the ninth inning. Vaughn will depart. Corey Vaughn has been bothered a little bit by a tweaked knee.
Travis Witherspoon at first base.
Ground ball down the line at third, just fouled by Valerio. Third baseline largely unprotected. Joe Terdoslavich swung toward the hole. York with the win tonight improves to 10-4. Southern Maryland 3 outs from going to 9-4. Valerio tried to time that slow slider, fouled it back. It's 2 strikes. Witherspoon, the pinch runner at first base. Not being held by Hobson to Valerio. Beaten foul up the first base line. Still 2 strikes in the count. And the Barnstormers now have Zach Schenk out at shortstop. And not Martinez. The 0-2 misses. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Still out there, though, is Terdoslavich, who got absolutely drilled by the Destin Hood line drive. Scorer decided to make that 4 unassisted, not 3 unassisted. Line foul up onto the hill. Valerio sticks around. Tony Thomas is on deck. Lancaster with 13 hits in the game, although the last 11 have been singles. Now a bouncer up the third base line, and again foul. Valerio continues to try and attack that side against Granite's because Joe Terdoslavich is nowhere even close to the line. And there have been 2 or 3 foul balls now past the bag. Joe decides to creep a little bit closer, but still a lot of room down the stripe. 1-2 on Valerio over the top, and it gets away. On to second with a wild pitch. Goes the pinch runner Witherspoon. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Valerio. Granite's decided to come over the top on it, and Parker Morin had no chance whatsoever. They get together to go over the signals. Runner in scoring position for Southern Maryland. On the third wild pitch of the game. Valerio awaits the 2-2. Granite steals at his bounce to the shortstop. Schenk will make the play coming in, throw to first and get him. Valerio's out 6-3 with Witherspoon ahead to third, 2 away. Tony Thomas, the third baseman, will come to the plate. Thomas is 1 for 4, and he has scored a run. He got the 5-run 6th inning underway with a base hit to left. Back in the 5th inning with 2 outs and Ruby Silva at second base, the Barnstormers were leading 4-3, and that's when that stretch started where 10 of 11 Blue Crabs reached base. And by the time it was over, and it ended abruptly, it was 11-5 in favor of the Blue Crabs. That ball is drilled to left field. Back on this goes Applin. Applin onto the track, hauls in the drive off the bat of Tony Thomas, ending the top half of the ninth inning. No runs on a hit with no errors, and the runner left in scoring position. Andrew Applin making another running catch to the track out in left field tonight. We're headed to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Barnstormers need a bundle. It is Southern Maryland 11 and Lancaster 6.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
The constant energy, the tight turns and bustle of the city. Some survive it, others were made to conquer it. The first ever Lexus UX and UX F Sport crossovers are crafted for those who were made for the city. UX, starting at $32,000. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
MSRP excludes delivery, processing, and handling fee of $1,025, which may be subject to change at any time. Excludes taxes, title, license, and optional equipment. Dealer price will vary.
It is Ryan Chafee as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. No save opportunity for Matt Latos, with Southern Maryland leading by 5. Chafee is in his 28th game of the year, and he's not had a very good season. He's 2-4 with a 6.21 earned run average. Casey Hobson leads off here in the ninth. Hobson 2 for 4 with an RBI, swings and drives the ball deep down the right field line. Heading toward the corner, Silva galloping over, and that is a foul ball off the bat of Hobson, says Warren Nicholson, the first base umpire. The ball and Silva vanishing from view, and Hobson comes back at no balls and a strike, looking for his first 3-hit game of the season. 2 singles for KC tonight, 1 to left, 1 to right. Nearly sneaking out a home run if the ball in fact left, but ruled foul by Nicholson. Chafee with the 0-1, and it's bounced up there, a ball and a strike. Lancaster needing 5. The Barnstormers have out-hit Southern Maryland 13-12, but it's 6 extra base hits for the Blue Crabs to 2 for the Barnstormers. Ground ball pulled foul by Hobson down to the Lancaster bullpen. Scott Schumann tries to pretend that he scooped it up in his hat, but he missed. The bat also broke on it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hobson. Parker Moore and Melvin Mercedes to follow. Lancaster needs quite an uprising here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. The Barnstormers won the opener of this homestand when trailing by 2 going into the bottom of the ninth. Here comes the 1-2. Hobson goes down. He just, he swung and he missed. He decided to walk off and not force Charlie Valerio to make the throw. Hobson is struck out. Morin steps in, 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch is fouled into the net. Parker's done an incredible amount of that along the way tonight. 0-1 to the Barnstormers receiver. Mercedes waiting on deck. The Barnstormers, barring the dramatic, as there was a ground ball on the right side, handled by the first baseman McAdams. The underhands to Chafee covering. It wasn't smooth, but they get the out, 2 outs, and Mercedes will step in. The Barnstormers will be 5 down again in the Freedom Division. Long Island is up by a game over High Point in the Liberty Division and by 2 over New Britain and Somerset. The Liberty Division this half looking like the Freedom Division did in the first half of the schedule, like nobody really wants it. First pitch fastball, good for a strike on Melvin, who has 2 hits in the game. 0-1. Chafee comes back and locates the outside corner. The Barnstormers are now down to a final strike. 0-2 to Melvin Mercedes. Darian Sanford, the on-deck batter. Lancaster, after falling behind in this game, hasn't been able to come up with the big hits. Ball 1 is down and in, 1-2. They had the big hits early to take the 4-1 lead. It turned out not to be enough tonight. 1-2 on Mercedes. Chafee delivers. That is cut on and missed, and the throw will go to first to finish it off tonight. Mercedes goes down on strikes. Last 2 relievers for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs ended up fanning 5-0 across in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The wrap-up show comes your way next. Our final score this evening, the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 11 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 6.
The National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum is a place with thousands of stories to be told. It's a place to relive baseball's greatest moments and share them with future generations. It's a place to experience the game and how it has shaped our history. Cooperstown is a destination with something for the entire family. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your trip to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Enjoy baseball and stay in shape. The Lancaster Barnstormers have a great package for our more experienced fans to do both. The Silver Stormers package is open to all fans 55 and above. Get a ticket to all Tuesday home games. Take a walk around our beautiful stadium during the day on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And get a Silver Stormers t-shirt to sport to all of these events. The Silver Stormers is presented by A&E Audiology and Hearing Aid Center. Sign up today at the stadium or at LancasterBarnstormers.com.
The Lancaster Barnstormers' 4-game winning streak comes to an end tonight thanks to a Southern Maryland double spree in the middle innings. The Blue Crabs with the 11-6 win in the opener of a 3-game series here this weekend, and for Southern Maryland, their 5th straight win over the Lancaster Barnstormers since the All-Star break. The Blue Crabs with 11 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and 5 left. Lancaster 6 runs on 13 hits with 1 error, and the Barnstormers ended up leaving 11 runners out on the base paths. The win goes to James Dykstra. He is 3-1 with Southern Maryland and 4-1 total. Kyle Davies taking the loss for the Barnstormers in his final game here, 4-9 for Davies. He loses his last 7 starts in a Barnstormers uniform. But again, congratulations to Kyle on a wonderful career, one that certainly has set him and his wife and children up for a very, very long time. And Kyle Davies, an immensely successful career, but he brings it, at least for now, to an end a month and a half before his 36th birthday. No save in the ball game tonight. The Barnstormers with a 2-run home run by Destin Hood in the bottom of the second inning, his 3rd home run of the season. That came with a man aboard. Josh McAdams homered with a man aboard in the 6th inning, his 4th home run of the campaign. 3 hours, 18 minutes, the time of our game tonight, 4,776 here at Clipper Magazine Stadium to see Friday night Atlantic League Baseball. The Blue Crabs scored on a 1-out RBI single by Joe Benson in the 1st inning. Davies then retired 8 in a row, and the Barnstormers appeared to take command in the ball game. In the 2nd inning, Andrew Applin, after falling behind in the count, ended up doubling to the gap in right center field. Destin Hood followed with a 2-run in the 2nd inning, but in the 3rd, the Barnstormers came out with 4 singles. Darian Sanford just clearing the second baseman Kent Blackstone. Michael Martinez banged a single into left. Sanford stole 3rd and scored on a sacrifice fly by Caleb Gindel for a 3-1 lead. Joe Terdoslavich and then Applin with consecutive base hits. Applin's single producing the 2nd run of the inning, and the Barnstormers took the 4-1 lead. Southern Maryland cut into that lead in the 4th inning on doubles by Joe Benson, who had a huge night, and Corey Vaughn, a wild pitch and a ground out by Charlie Valerio. That made it 4-3, and Davies had the 2nd out in the 5th inning with Ruby Silva at second base, and then everything fell apart for the Barnstormers as Southern Maryland would score 3 runs in the 5th inning. Edwin Garcia tied the game with a base hit to center. A walk to Joe Benson moved Garcia to second. He scored the tying run on a single to right field or not the tying run, the go-ahead run on a single to right for Dean Green. And then a wild pitch scored Benson for a 6-4 lead. Lancaster was able to make it 6-5 in the bottom half of the 5th inning and was so close, at least to tying the game back up. A walk to Gindel, a single by Terdoslavich started the inning. Applin struck out against the left-handed starter Tommy Thorpe. That was it for him. Adam Choplik came in. He struck out Destin Hood, but Casey Hobson delivered a beautiful 2-strike single into left field to make it 6-5. Parker Morin walked loading the bases, and Melvin Mercedes had the count to 3-2, but struck out looking as Choplik got out of the inning with the 1-run lead intact. And before the Barnstormers could get an out in the top of the 6th, Southern Maryland scored 5 runs, the first 2 on the McAdams home run down the left field line, the final 3 on the base-clearing double by Joe Benson against Brian Harper. The final 2 relievers of the night, Alejandro Chassin and Garrett Granitz, had terrific outings for the Barnstormers, but those did not come soon enough. Lancaster would score a run on a single by Caleb Gindel in the bottom of the 6th inning. We saw shutout baseball the rest of the way. Southern Maryland with the 11-6 victory over the Barnstormers tonight here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Around the league, York with an 11-10 win over New Britain. It was 1-0 in 10 innings. Long Island defeating Somerset, and High Point with the come-from-behind win against Sugar Land. 5-4 was that final score. In Major League Baseball, the finals, of course, starting to come in tonight. The long night of baseball in the major leagues is well past the halfway mark on this Friday. Colorado with a 12-2 victory over the Cincinnati Reds. The Dodgers tripped up the Nationals 4-2. Atlanta a big 9-2 win over the Phillies. The Braves are now up 5.5 over the Nats, 6.5 over the Phillies in the NL East. Tampa Bay tripped up Toronto tonight, 3-1. The Red Sox defeated the New York Yankees 10-5. Again, a 3-home run night for Mookie Betts. Overall, he was 4 for 5, 3 home runs, a double, and 5 runs batted in. A 14 total base night for Mookie Betts. Mets beat the Pirates 6-3, 4 home runs for New York, and Miami rallied in the bottom of the ninth to defeat the Diamondbacks 3-2. was the final score. In progress, they're in the bottom of the 7th at Miller Park. The Cubs lead the Milwaukee Brewers 2-0. Minnesota has extended the lead now to 6-2 over the White Sox. Play is in the top half of the 8th inning on the south side of Chicago. Cleveland leads Kansas City 6-1. They are in the bottom of inning number 7. Cam Gallagher, by the way, was just forced out at second base. 2-2, Astros and Cardinals in the top of the 8th. The Baltimore Orioles have a run without a base hit. Now they just got their first base hit of the night. 1-0 the Orioles lead at Anaheim, top of the 2nd inning. The Oakland Athletics scored a run on 2 Texas Rangers errors in the bottom of the 1st inning. Oakland is up 1-0 over Texas through an inning. Detroit won Seattle 0 at the end of an inning and a half. Bottom of the 2nd at San Diego, no score between the host Padres and the San Francisco Giants. The Lancaster Barnstormers dropped the opener of a 3-game weekend series to the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 11-6. The final score, the Blue Crabs now 5-0 against the Barnstormers since the All-Star break. Star of the night for Southern Maryland, Joe Benson, with 4 runs batted in. The Barnstormers offense scattered, but owning two hit nights tonight. Joe Turdoslavich, Andrew Applin, Destin Hood, Casey Hobson, and Melvin Mercedes. A total of 13 hits for the Barnstormers in the loss. Game 2 of the series comes up tomorrow night. A reminder, it is a fireworks Saturday at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's also Celtic night at the ballpark tomorrow. We will have Irish dancers out here, as well as some other fun and frolic at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 6:30 game time. We'll be with you with the Gockenauer Home Appliances Dugout Report beginning at 6:15. Jared Lakin with the start for the Barnstormers. Right-hander Dustin Knight, with whom we are not familiar, making the start for Southern Maryland. Join us again at 6:15. Until then, for our assistants Joey Greer and James Murray, for all the cast and crew here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you at the ballpark.